Well, hello there, you spectacular specimens of humankind, you happy-go-lucky scamps of individuals. Welcome on into the cult of Vane, the home of hedonism, here on this little corner of the week called twitch.tv/Van or if you're on the Vods and Vanity channel in Thurston Vanity no, not Thurston Vanity, Vods and Vanity on the YouTube channel. Vods and Vanity on the YouTube channel. Welcome on in, you beautiful individuals. How's it going? How are you doing? How are things? I hope you all had spectacular weekends. I am here with Halloweeny things. It's not fully done yet. I've got shitloads of cobwebs I need to put up, but it's been a chaotic day trying to pack everything down from the weekend, trying to get all the bits and pieces sorted, and trying to get all the Halloween stuff out. So it's been a pretty manic day. I gave myself a couple of hours this morning just to fucking chill out, and in those couple of hours I got real sniffly, congested, and had a real bad headache. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get up and work, because if I don't get up and work, then I'm gonna get ill. I don't want to get ill. I don't have the fucking time to get ill. I've got too much shit to do. All right, how's it going, Milky Pork? Yeah, Black Eyeshadow time. You know it. You know it. I'm glad to feel myself again. Not like that, you cheeky devils. How's it going, Lunicorn? Today has been slow day. I am very much rejoicing in the Black Eyeshadow, to say the least. How's the background music, friends? Can you even hear the background music? I can barely hear it, but your audios are slightly different. Zooey Booey, hello, you beautiful individual. Kells the Mad, love your name, welcome on in. It's Kierdwen, reverted back to your old username. Kells should be easier to pronounce. Entirely fair, entirely fair. If you would prefer me to call you Kells, I'll call you Kells. No issues, no issues. Thank you very much for explaining, because I was getting confused. You enjoyed the music today, friends? You enjoyed the music? Today's intro track was a band called Creeper, which is a new band that I say new to me. They're not a new band. They're new to me. I haven't heard them too much before. I've heard like a couple of songs of theirs, and I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna put them on today. They've got that 80s goth vibe about them that makes me feel very I feel some heavy Sisters of Mercy vibes about them. You know. I'm drinking decaf tea as well because I've had so much fucking tea today. It's unreal, just to keep me going. Do you know what I mean? Just to keep me going. How you doing, Eris Ptolemy? Hello, Zooty Booty. Sawblade Mano, welcome on in, Sawblade, you cheeky little devil. Gilus, you wonderful individual. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, we've got people already using our new lurking command. I appreciate you beautiful individuals for lurking. You do not have to say hello into chat, but just know that I see you and I appreciate you. We're having a look at the whole dynamic of this whole argument that lurkers no longer count. Now, let's be very clear. Since the dawn of fucking Twitch, people have said, well, lurkers don't count towards your viewer numbers. And there's been some recent experiments of people like shouting out lurkers and getting all of their lurkers to say hello in chat, which we are not going to be doing, because I understand that lurking is loving and you've got better things to do with your time. However, I thought maybe if we did like a channel point redeem, which is like a thing where people can actually use 10 channel points to say that they are lurking, that they are here, therefore engaging with the chat. Maybe it'll change the metrics, and we'll have a look at that. We'll see what it's all about. But I'm not going to call you out, all right? This is a way that you can do it. You can interact with the chat without any kind of, like, backlash. You don't have to get called out from the realms of lurk, all right? Black Eyeshadow is back. Kind of sad because the colors made you happy. The colors were great. They were wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for the colors, but I love my Black Eyeshadow. I do need some new Black Eyeshadow, to be fair. To be fair, I do need some new Black Eyeshadow. It has to be said. It has to be said. Maybe Moonlight, how you doing? Tinks, you cheeky little devil. Welcome on in. Milky Pork, you wonderful being. One true cripple. Well, hello. Indeed. Cat Fairy, hello, you beautiful individual. How you doing, you wonderful being? What? Oh, no. No, that's right. I just opened my mod chat being like, has the mod said anything? And I realized that I said something, and I was like, why the fuck have I put that in there? No, it was a mistake. It was all good. It's all good. Always enjoy the Valen face. Oh my lordy. Jazz hands, you beautiful individual. Jazz hands. I will inscribe your name upon the mirror vein. I'm not going to do it right now because tomorrow morning, I've already allocated it. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to sit and just fill this entire mirror full of all of the subscriptions that I have missed so far. But I will inscribe your name upon the mirror vein. Thank you so much for choosing to use your Prime here. You could use it anywhere on Twitch and you choose to use it here, and that means a lot to me. Thank you. I will inscribe your name upon the mirror vein. By having your name upon the mirror vein means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you got to roll over every morning, look in the mirror and go, God, do I look rough? But god damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow, you know? Yeah, now? You beautiful being, you. I always enjoy the Valen face. I appreciate that. Doesn't have to tell you twice, you cheeky little devils, what you like. Oh, Jesus, I didn't even put any locks on these. That's fine. That's all right. That's all right. Sup, nerd? I am indeed a nerd. This is true. This is true. Linus, hello, you beautiful individual. Welcome on in. Onyx Void as well, nibbering. Peek at you. Peek at. Peek at you. Peek at you. Peek at you. That is even more unnerving given the fact that it is a different Pokemon. It's a different Pokemon. It's a different Pokemon. Okay. Thank you so much for the 404, Stupedia. I got really confused there. I was like, oh, hold on. That's not a Pikachu. What the fuck? What the fuck? Radio Bombastic, how you doing? The room looks amazing. Thank you very much. It's not done yet. Not done yet. I've got a shitload of cobwebs that I need to put up. But I realized I put the room together without the cobwebs. I put the room together with the way that I did it last year, and then realized that the camera angle has changed this year, so I had to take it all down again and then change it all round so that it was a bit more creepy deepy. Do you know what I mean? The music is good. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Appreciate the heads up. They're just cleaning each other. Calm yourself. They are just cleaning each other. Good Lord. Good Lord. Come on now. Calm down. Thank you very much, Jubilee, for the 69. It's a bit faint, okay? I've just changed it.
Panda to it. Panda to it.
Evening beans.
Evening beans. How's it going, Rach? How you doing? How's the little terror? The little terror. Shade, how you doing, you beautiful individual? Welcome on in. Perfect now. Sweet. Thanks, friends. I want to make sure, because the balance has got to be...
Filthy, I tell you. Filthy.
No, they're just cleaning each other. Not cleaning each other all over my face. They're just cleaning each other. Good Lord, Tinks. Calm it down. All right, look. He's been given dreamies, and therefore he's probably wired as shit, right? Absolutely wired. The way it should be is my voice first, because it's the most important. All right? Then the alerts, and then the music. But I want you still be able to hear the music, and then when the alerts go on, I want to be able to hear the alerts over the top of the music. So it's a delicate balancing act, and what I hear isn't necessarily what you hear. So it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one, you know. Onyx Void coming in with the 15 streams in a row you've been streaking through here. It's been cold and wet all day. What are you doing streaking? What are you doing? Good Lord. Good Lord. Oh, somebody has redeemed to praise the mods, but I haven't seen them say anything in chat. So I don't want to call them out of lurk. So friends, this glorious individual hasn't said anything in chat, but they have redeemed to praise the mods 8 minutes ago. Could you do me a massive favor and throw some mod loves in the channel? You can use any kind of mod loves from any kind of channel. You can use any kind of love hearts from any kind of channel. Say a massive thank you to those wonderful moderators. Mods! Thank you so much for all that you do. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for all you do. Of course, mistress. Don't worry, mistress. I remember the safe word. Oh my god. Yeah. That's the safe word. Yeah. Yes, mistress. Of course, mistress. Stubedia, thank you very much for the 200 little panderings. Yeah, I've reset it, so you fuck now. Ha 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 ha. Take that, friends. Thank you so much, everybody, for thanking the mods. I really appreciate that. Mods, you're beautiful and glorious. I'll give you extra lint at the weekend. How's it going, Phoenix Events? Hope all is well on this cold and extremely wet day. It has been cold and it is extremely wet. And you know what? Today's been all right. Today's been okay. Like I said, I gave myself an extra hour this morning. Turned my alarm off, so I woke up naturally. Did I wake up at exactly the same time I've woken up for the past week and a half? Yes, 110%, because my body's just gone, yeah, you're waking up at fucking 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock every day this week. Fuck you. But I did just chill out. I did just chill out in bed for a bit. Just hanging out, just relaxing, having a good time. And then I was like, I feel congested and horrible. I've got a fucking headache. This is horrible. Right, fuck this noise. Getting up, getting a shower, and cracking on. Taking loads of boxes back up to the wardrobe so that the room behind us is clear. All this area here was covered in boxes and shit, and I've taken all them out. All the other room was covered in shit. I'm like, right, working my way through that. I require a clean fucking house. Now that my event's done, I require a clean house. Have I got a shitload more events coming up? 110%. But that's the way it works. That's the way it be, all right?
Pander to my ego. Pander to it. Pander to it.
What did the mistress say to entice the termite? Want to get some wood.
Oh, come on. Come on, Zabadian. Thank you very much for the 100 little panderings. Come on. Fucking enticing termites. Doing okay, just impatiently waiting for the
Pander to my ego. Pander to it. Pander to it.
The black is back, bladder.
The black is back, indeed. Back in black. It's a sack. Been on, glad to be a back. It's a let loose on the noose. I used to listen to that all the time. Weirdly, whilst also watching Dune, the original 1984 movie. It was a hyper focus for a little while, you know. I'm doing okay, just impatiently waiting for the person that I bought my car from, because we're meeting so that I can get the title, but he's taking forever and I'm frustrated, understandably. Completely understandably, Eris. That sounds like a very frustrating situation. Also, thank you so much, Razar, for the 100 little panderings. I appreciate you, cheeky devil. I appreciate you. Got a distinct Bauhaus thing going on today. I've got a distinct Bauhaus. Do you know what? I never really got into Bauhaus. Bauhaus. The band, I'm assuming.
Pander to my ego. Pander to it. Pander to it.
Yay, hello chat. Hello Valen. Just wanted to say, touch it. Touch it real good.
I have actually made it more difficult to kick off a hype train. I have actively, I said after the fucking the streamiversary party, I was going to make it even more difficult to kick off a hype train. And then I was like, we had 7 days of cheap hype train, which was fucking ridiculous. And then I was like, do you know what? We're just gonna set it back to what it was, and we're just gonna make it a little bit more difficult because there's been hype trains all the fucking time. So I'm not gonna tell you anything. I'm just gonna be nice and quiet. And nobody's gonna notice. They'll just be like, oh shit, this is a little bit more difficult, what have you. And then you go, within the first 20 minutes of me streaming, you go and kick off a bloody hype train. Friends, you have been far too kind to me recently. Okay, you do not need to do this. You can just calm it down. We're all relaxed. We're all fun and games. Just we're good. All right.
Subscribed. Most kind. Pander to my ego. Pander to it. Pander to it.
Yeah, but this is a brat train, not a hype train.
No.
We are experts.
No, it's pain in the ass train. And as we saw,
Pander to
where
my
the
ego.
choo-choo went
Pander
in.
to it. Pander to it.
Don't you remember that every Monday is brat train Monday?
It's not Brad Train Monday. This is back in Black Eyeshadow Monday. God damn it. God damn it, Zabadian. No. Shane Sunshine and Zabadian. Thank you very much for 100 little panderings each. I appreciate you. God damn it. I will explain. So,
Pander to my ego. Pander to it. Pander to it.
oh my lordy, Spider Flash. Thank you very much for 100 little panderings. So, what I've done is I've reset the different settings. So it takes slightly more to kick it off, but the other settings are exactly the same. So the levels go up in exactly the same way, and the waiting time is exactly the same as what it used to be. But it takes more to kick it off this time, and you've fucking done it anyway, haven't you? You bloody well done it anyway, you shits.
Subscribed. Most kind.
No.
Second carriage connected.
No. They're not on fucking stream. Are they on Twitch? Oh no, they're not. Never mind. Rach just gifted a sub to Dairy King. Dairy King was one of the performers that performed for me on Friday night, and they were sensational. And I was like, fuck off, are they on Twitch? And I don't know about them. I would literally have all of you. If it was them, if I could like literally prove if it was them, but if it was them, I'd be like, every single person here, we are all going to go over and follow the fuck out of them. All right? Because they're great and wonderful, and they deserve that, all right? But it's not them. It's not them. Good Lord. Rach, thank you very much for giving a sub to Dairy King and for Radio Fiddle. I will inscribe their names upon the mirror vein tomorrow morning when I'm catching everything up. I will inscribe their names upon the mirror vein. By having their name upon the mirror vein, it means they get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devils. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you got to roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough? Well, God damn, do I make rough look good? Oh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow. You know? You know, you cheeky little devils. Yeah, I'll take the Bauhaus look, Bontricable. OTC, as many people call you. I will happily take the Bauhaus look. That's that 80s goth vibes, you know? The 80s goth vibes. Painted Lady, welcome on in, you cheeky little devil. He said, it's a thank you for being so wonderful and welcoming on Friday night. That is very, very welcome. 100%. I do my absolute best, Zooty Booty. I do my absolute best. Damn it, Stupedia. You shit. You shit. Also, can we get a shout out for Mary Majora? Hello, you glorious individual. How you doing? You happy-go-lucky scamp? Good Lord. What a wonderful human being to come in and grace us today. What was I saying? Oh, I suppose I should do the Stupedia thing, because it's a whole thing. Ugh.
Hand it to my ego. Hand it to it. Hand it to it.
Sup.
Sup. Okay. See what I did there? That's Zabadian's fault. I blame Zabadian entirely. How's it going, Cosmic Scree? How you doing, you beautiful bean? Mods, please disobey stream. It's alright, I'll do it myself. Fucking mal. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Friends, have you ever wanted to be tantalized and giggled outrageously by the medium of bread? Have you ever decided that you wanted to see a streamer dress in the most outrageous outfits while playing the most peculiar and interesting of games? Have you ever wanted to indulge in levels of charisma delicately brought to you through the medium of a delightful visage? Then you should go and find Mary Majora and click that cheeky little follow button. They are wholesome, chaotic, full of shit in the best possible way. And also, dress like bread. There you go. There you go. Thank you so much, Senpai, you beautiful being. Exactly. That is cheating. Exactly. I'm very good at that. Very, very good at that. That's great. I call it cheesing it, you know. Debauchery, how you doing, you beautiful human being? How you doing? I'm catching up with chat still after all of this. After all this. Got a jumping spider to keep as a pet today. He's huge. There's a couple of jumping spiders that live on my orchids in my bedroom, in my bathroom. Just little jumping spiders. I'm like, there you go. You can live on the orchid. That's fine. There'll be plenty of shit crawling around in the mud around that. They'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? No streaking for you, Zabadian. That's all right. That's okay. It's bloody freezing. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. What did you do? What do you mean your finger slipped? Your finger slipped doing what? Were you trying to have a bit of a reach around and you slipped right in? Is that what was happening? But to help revenge for Mary, what are you doing? What is this? What? I have IBS, so I'm actually full of shit? Exactly. Metaphorical and, what is this?
Hand it to my ego. Hand it to it. Hand it to it.
I just killed a huge spider running across the floor with my shoe. I don't care how big the spider is. No one steals my shoe.
What? That actually caused my brain to malfunction a little bit, Zabadian. What? What? How dare you? What? What do you mean? friends, if you have got hype train emotes, could you please throw them out now and say a massive thank you to all those people that subbed, that gifted subs, that threw all those cheeky little bitties out there. That's so unbelievably kind of you. And now you've got to wait. You got to wait the extra time as well. Take that, you cheeky little devils. I know it's not a treat back train anymore, but I can still push it a little. Outrageous. The lot of you. Rude is what you are. Rude. Was the shower nice and toasty? The shower was very toasty. It was great. I crank it right up. Scald myself a little bit just because I've had cold showers for so long. I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. I want a hot shower. I want to indulge myself. You know? And just remember that Bela Lugosi's still undead. Yeah. Bela Lugosi's dead. Undead. I know that song, Wonder Gribble, for sure. What's the dead? No, Tinks. None of that. You did nothing part 2? He says, immediately checking things.
Hand it to my ego.
God damn it.
Hand it to it. Hand it to it.
Time to touch the caboose.
No touching the caboose. The caboose has choo-chooed the fuck out of here. It's choo-chooed the fuck out of here. It went. It disappeared. It did its thing. Fucked off. Came back again, potentially, possibly, maybe. Huh. Interesting. Bear with me, friends. I've just realized that something isn't working. As is the tendency for these things to happen. God damn it, Tinks! Can we get some egos in chat? Say a massive thank you to Tinks. Because even though this is not currently updating, Tinks has donated twice, you cheeky little devil. That's far too bloody kind of you. I'm going to try and just reset that. Where's it gone? Is it this one? It's been a long time since I've done something like this. That's what I need. Okay, seems to be working now. Seems to be working now. There we go. Okay. Some reason it was all fucky. Friends, now you've done the hype train, all right? I need you to be aware that you are now not permitted to do anything else. All right? Now not permitted at all. However, Stupedia has redeemed Show Donor with Speech, which shows the donation goal. It means I have to talk about it, which is frustrating in and of itself. Good Lord. I've changed my donation goal, friends. We've kept the amount, but we've changed the donation goal. All right. We've changed the donation goal because after I did my little stint of searching for ways that I could improve my life at some stage in the future. And when I say that, I mean, like, I was looking up solar panels. I never thought I'd be able to afford them.
Hand it to it. Hand it to it.
You can't tell me what to do.
I bloody well can, Mary Majora. Don't make me get my spanking back. I mean, my breadboard for your buns. Okay, don't you make me do that. I will get... That breadboard will come at your buns. They will come at your buns. Like there's no tomorrow. It's already difficult enough in the fact that I have to talk about shit that I need, all right? Good Lord. Good Lord. Right, so I had a donation goal. The donation goal was to get new technology to make vlogging much easier and shit like that. However, last week...
Pander to my ego. Pander to it. Pander to it.
Show US the breadboard.
So, show the United States the breadboard. Behold the breadboard. Not for anybody outside of the US, just the US. Behold the breadboard. People from the United States. Coming for your buns. Coming for your buns. The United States proves. How's it going, Wild Annie? Can I please get a shout out for Wild Annie, please, as well? I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Okay. As I was saying, I've got to talk about the fucking donation goal.
Pander to my ego. Pander to it. Pander to it.
Where do all the bad buns live? In the seedy part of town.
Oh my god, Zabadian. Oh my god. Friends, go and check out Wild Annie. Wild Annie plays the largest variety of games I've ever seen any Twitch streamer play ever. From SnowRunner to card games to horror games to really actiony games to little indie games, like the biggest selection that I've ever done seen. They're also gloriously wholesome, very much appreciative, very supportive, and also hilarious. I watch them a lot. On the mornings, you know. But as I was saying, because I need to get this fucking donation shit out of the way, we did have a donation goal to upgrade my technology for vlogging stuff. But then I realized, last week, I was like, cool, I would like to price up some solar panels. Am I going to be able to afford them? Definitely not. And they were like, yeah, you can't even ask for them because at some point in the last 5 years, you had debt. And I was like, I do have debt. That is something that every adult in the world seems to have. Unless you're a fucking billionaire. We all have debt. And they were like, but I was like, I'm out of, because I was defaulted. I defaulted on a fucking credit card. But I'm out the default, because the default only lasts for 5 years. So I was like, cool, I'm out the default. That should be great for my credit history and all fine and dandy. And they were like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that you're out of default. Doesn't matter the fact that you're regularly paying it off. Doesn't matter any of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, you've still got it. And I was like, so... that, combined with a couple of other little things that I've reached out for to try and make my life a little bit easier, and it's become problematic because I physically own debt, means that my current objective is to get rid of that debt. Get rid of the fucking debt. That makes me deeply fucking uncomfortable to say that is what the donation goal is for. Because... I don't like admitting it, for starters. Secondly, I don't like asking people for anything. Like, ever. And, but we're going to do it the way that we always do. We'll do it in £200 increments. And at the end of every £200, we'll do a special prize. We'll do a giveaway. We'll do a giveaway. We'll do... extra streams, we'll do the fucking Discord streams, we'll do movie nights, we'll do whatever you fancy. All right? As a way of incentivizing all of you to actually help me be less shit in my life. There is nothing to be ashamed of. I'm not ashamed of it. I just don't like talking about it. It's not a shameful thing by any stretch of the imagination. I know exactly what happened. What happened was I was doing really fucking well at paying off my debt. I had like a couple of £100 to pay off. And then a friend of mine got married in Santorini. And I was like, cool, I'll just put it all on the credit card. That'll be fine. And then I lost my job. Then I turned round to my manager and HR and said... I have never met somebody I actively wanted to push downstairs before I met this lady who is my manager. And my manager went, what? And HR went, what? And I went, yeah, I'm going. Bye. Oh, shit. Never mind. Is what it is. But it is now causing a problem. In the past, I was like, I don't really give a shit. It's what it is. I'll just pay it off whenever I'm able to pay it off, etc., etc. But now it's causing a problem. And now I'm like, So, as begrudged as I am to do it, that is the current donation goal that we're going to get sorted. Hopefully. And do you know what? If you're not comfortable with that, that's fine. That's okay. Nobody has to donate by any stretch of the imagination. There is no obligation to, you know. But that's after a lot of deliberation over what would be best. Okay, no, let me rephrase that. After a lot of personal deliberation over what I felt that I wanted versus what I felt I needed, this is where we ended up. So, literally, as money comes in, it'll go straight out to pay off all of that shit. Do you know what I mean? And thank you to anybody that does choose to help me out with that. It's... Yeah. Let's swiftly move on, because, yeah. All good in the proverbial hood. And done. Wait a minute, what did you do? What's going on here? Wait, what? Damn it! You beautiful bugger. Tiny Haggis, thank you so much. Can we get some egos in chat? Say a massive thank you to Tiny Haggis. Just fuck that. I really appreciate that. I really fucking appreciate that, you beautiful beings. That's so fucking kind of you. So fucking kind of you. God damn it. Emotions, and it's not just the black eyeshadow. God damn. That's very, very kind. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I know I have a lot, but I show what I can. That is more than enough. Everything that anyone ever gives in this stream, ever, is always appreciated, but never expected. Never ever expected. Oh, hello. It's all moody. How you doing? Oh God, what have you got? What's this? What is this? what have you got there? What is this? It's a tin of tuna chunks. I'm a vegetarian. I don't even eat tuna. What the what? Are you all right? Did they take too much blood? I'm fine. Junk went to give blood. Mission failed. I was so confused. Why have you brought me a tin of tuna?
The instructions were unclear.
The instructions were unclear. What? Who get what? Mission failed successfully. What? What? What is going on? Why are you like this? You brought me your fishy bits. Okay. That happened. There we go. Open can, empty can, add to sandwich, as in the can. Have you seen that? I'm sure that most of you will have seen the video of the young boy and his dad, and the dad is following the instructions for how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And he goes, open the peanut butter, and he opens the peanut butter, and he goes, take knife, and he goes, put knife in peanut butter, and he just throws the knife handle first into the peanut butter, and the little boy just goes, you're doing it wrong. And I was like, this is amazing. This is absolutely fucking amazing. This is great. That was exactly what I took for a moment there. It was just like, open can, empty can, add to sandwich, just putting a can in an empty can inside bits of bread. Just subbed and nothing happened. The alerts are definitely working for subs and stuff. The donation one is being dodgy because that's a separate system. But try refreshing the channel, Tiny Haggis. Because it might be one of those things where it's like, oh, you got to refresh the channel, and then it'll pop up and say hi. Because that is a whole thing. That is a whole thing that Twitch is funny about. Also, Twitch is being funny recently. Yeah, because there we go.
Most kind.
Bork with the we are 2 months. The corruption is settling in very nicely. I see, you beautiful bean. Twitch is definitely having issues at the moment, friends, because there was a big AWS issue on the Amazon servers, and Amazon, all of Twitch stuff is on Amazon servers. So I don't even know what an AWS is, but tech people in the community were like, hey everybody, there's been an AWS issues, and I was like, okay. Amazon Web Service, even better. So anything to do with Twitch is probably gonna have a bit of an issue over the next little while. All right. Tiny Agus, I will inscribe your name upon the mirror vein tomorrow morning when I caught up with them all. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is your roll over every morning. Look in the mirror and go, God, do I look rough? But God damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow, you know? You know, you cheeky little devil, you. You cheeky little devil. Right, I'm going to try and catch up with chat a wee bit, because I got way behind, to the surprise of nobody. To the surprise of nobody. I love to see someone make the same lame joke I always make about what being IBS. Having IBS even. Being IBS? Having IBS. It's Monday. I'm already exhausted. Almost only 4 more days. Good Lord. Good Lord, ladies and gentlemen, and all genders outside and between, delve deep into your bits of popcorn and throw them at the raiders, throw them at these cheeky devils. Look at these people coming in here. I mean, really, could you even imagine who do they think they are? The absolute audacity, the scandal, the preposterousness, the outrage, I tell you, the outrage. It's the beautiful, the glorious, the exquisite Dahlia Rex. Hello, Dahlia. How you doing? How's your art thing? What's it called? Exhibition. How's your exhibition, you beautiful individual? How's your exhibition going? Friends of my stream, please go and check out the glorious, the beautiful Dahlia Rex. Dahlia is glorious. She's fantastic. I've been out drinking with her many, many times. She is a terrible influence on me, and yet absolutely amazing. I very much appreciate her face. I very much appreciate the conversations we have. I very much appreciate the fact that she gets me into trouble in the best possible way. In the best possible way. People that are new here. 2 things you need to know about this channel. 1, you're not allowed to apologize. Faux pas, individuals, faux pas. Instead of saying sorry, try saying thank you. Instead of saying sorry, I'm late, say thanks for waiting. Instead of saying sorry, I'm such a burden, say thanks for being there for me. It'll make you a much more positive individual. 2, if you're under the age of 18, I have to ask you to leave. You shouldn't be, because you were just in Dahlia's stream, and Dahlia is definitely 18 plus. But if you are under the age of 18, I have to ask you to leave. For I am a colossal filth wizard. We talk about sex and debauchery all the time, and I don't want to be corrupting the ears of the young. So if you're under the age of 18, disappear off, come back when you're 18, we'll have a good laugh, all right? All right? And you don't have to be mentally over the age of 18. As long as your physical body is rotated round the earth 18 times, you're fine. You're fine, right? It's going really well, and I can now say that I've made my first ever sale as an artist. Someone bought one of my big paintings in the gallery. I'm so happy. That's fucking amazing, Dahlia. Can we get some applause and some hype in the channel for the darling Dahlia Rex? For making your first ever sale as an artist. This officially makes you a professional artist. Do you realize this? This officially makes you a professional artist. How's it going, Real John Ra? How you doing? Congratulations. You have made money through the medium of art and therefore are now a professional. How you doing, Kevin Stories? Of course, Dahlia. Real John Ra. Also, how was Herr Wolfenstein? The Stein of Wolves. The Frankenstein through the medium of wolves. Is it a play of different dogs pretending to do the reenactment of the story of Frankenstein's monster, and they're all just interested? Is it Frankenweenie? Is that what it is? Is that what's going on? Is Wolfenstein actually the darker version of Frankenweenie? These are the things I need to know. All right. As you can see, I've drank too much tea today. Boston chips, they said they had spicy jalapeno and creamy fresh herb seasoning. Can't taste anything other than the jalapeno. That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all. Now you want popcorn? Get popcorn. Get popcorn. Kells, come here, cheeky devil. What do you like claiming cheeky kisses, you beautiful individual? I love the way you waited for all these beautiful people to come in here. And you're like, I know, I'm going to get a cheeky kiss now. You know? Dahlia is definitely an over 18 stream. 100%. 100%. But I have to check. You know what I mean? I'm mentally a child, but my bones hurt. There, you see? Exactly. That's the reason why you're perfectly fine here. You know? Colossal Filth Wizard, I want to see a trick. You want to see what kind of trick? I can do lots of tricks. I just can't do them on Twitch. I can juggle my testicles. Does that count? Does that work? Yeah? Yeah? We can do that. Like no hands, just stand there like this and have them raise and lower and raise and lower. You know? Definitely something I can do. Absolutely. Right? Good evening. Another were... Is this another were animal? It's not. It's not. We watched Black Sheep last night in the movie, community movie night. We watched Ghostbusters, the OG 1984 Ghostbusters, and Black Sheep. And Black Sheep was a fucking experience. A fucking experience. I have now witnessed it, and I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. Right, friends, I'm gonna whip down in chat. If I've missed something in chat, please by all means copy and paste it. It'll be grand and dandy. How's it going, Mayor Wi-Fi? How you doing, you beautiful individual? Mission failed successfully. Something fishy going on here. Don't you even, Shade. Good lord. So got Chinese whispered. What was the thing? My housemate has just come in, dropped a tin of tuna on the floor, and walked out of it. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? By the way, Dahlia and your wonderful, wonderful community, if you need to disappear off, if you need to go grab a snaffly treat, some kind of delightful beverage, please go do so. Please look after yourself. As much as I love your attention, and I do love your attention.
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
Hello, you cheeky monkey. Are you looking at my bum?
I mean, I could be. Are you presenting your bum? But as much as I love your attention, I fully understand you've all got lives, and lives are more important than my ego. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Sir Didymus, how you doing? Sir Didymus, have you changed your name? I seem to remember it being longer than that. Got a cup of tea and snacks all good for you? I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Both are awesome. I've made such a character. Sound my best. Do my best. And well, to be fair, I don't do my best. I just exist as I am, right? The Wolf was fun. One of my favorite games, and it's not Frankenweenie, though. I feel let down. I feel like Wolfenstein is like the parody porn of Frankenweenie, all right? Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Frankenweenie is the parody porn of Wolfenstein, you know? But, you know. Can you make something bigger as a Colossal Filth Wizard? Depends how much you lick it. Sounds like it hurts. Look, sometimes you've got to try everything 3 times to get a scientific average. Or at the very least, try everything twice, because the first time it might hurt. Okay? Too many testicle jokes. I have glitched brain. Sometimes I think with my testicles, so it makes sense. It makes sense, right? Don't remember watching it on Antioxidants. No, definitely not. Good lord. Black Sheep was... I can't even describe it. It's a zombie movie, but the zombies are all sheep. That's the only way I can... It's a whole thing. And you get a were-sheep in it. And it's a... It was an experience. Not one that I think everyone needs, but definitely one that everyone wants. Do you know what I mean? Robo Blake, you beautiful being. I will inscribe your name upon the mirror vein tomorrow morning when I'm catching up with all the fucking subscriptions from like the past week. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil, and of course you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you go roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, I look rough, but god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow. You know? You cheeky devil. Luna Butterfly, how you doing, you beautiful being? That was a great laugh. Yeah, Chunk does have a great laugh. Seems a bit fishy, that. God damn it. You missed a lot of chat. I did miss a lot of chat. There's a lot of things I've been missing because you people are chaotic as shit. You people are all kind of chaos. Chat wanted you to bend over and show your buns. So we had a mission to get Chunk to drop something for you to pick up. Oh, I see. You are desperately hoping to see. I'm wearing like skin tight leatherette trousers today as well. So it would have looked like a right shiny ass as well. But I can't do that. I can't allow you to see my buns. This is not a bum Snapchat. Okay? This is not the way this rolls. Come on now. Supposed to come in, stare at you and push something off a shelf like a cat would and make you bend over and pick it up. Instead, he brought you a tuna like a cat would. Exactly. He brought me tuna. That's what a cat would do. Or a dead mouse, you know. Catching up. Don't know what to do with the tin of tuna other than I don't eat it. Yeah, I don't eat tuna. Chunk does. Chunk eats a lot of tuna. Chunk eats tuna chunks. You know what I mean? Oh, what is this? That's the link to the clip Valen was talking about. Oh, thank you very much, Semba. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, buddy. Chunk got the cat vibe perfectly. Sadly, Valen was sitting down and the buns were unavailable. I am not going to be casually flashing my buns to all of you, you hungry individuals. Good lord. All week sexcation. Ooh. I mean, that's definitely a thing we could do. AW has a large collection of farts that sometimes make noise. Okay, that makes sense. Audio. What's going to do it? Audio welfare sharticles. Or maybe audibly wicked audio wind sphincter. There we go. Yeah, that works. That works. That works. Chloe mentioned that earlier. Still no idea. Yeah, no fucking clue. No fucking clue. It always goes way over my head. Do you know what I mean? A lot of websites and banks have gone down due to the AWS issue. That's fucking awful. Especially the banks. Like, websites are like one thing, but banks is next level. If a bank goes down, then it causes major problems for shit. Trust me, as somebody who literally like is paying all of the performers from Friday night's show. For those people that don't know, I did a massive Halloween cabaret show on like last Friday night, and it was fucking wild. It was next level excellent. The show was one of the best shows that I've ever put on. The cabaret show was one of the best shows that I've ever put on, and yeah, it was just great. It was just really good. Really good. Unhinged as shit. There are things that I put on that show that can't be unseen. And yet. Beautiful. Awesome to say. I read that bit. Right, catching up steadily but surely. Monty here. Why are you giving Monty sugar? You know this. You know that is not the way forward. Good lord. Best possible taste. I miss Kenny Everett. What? What's Kenny Everett got to do with anything? What? What's happening? Just passing through on my way through a Twitch DJ raid train, but had to see the handsome face and come and say hi. I appreciate that, B Nation. Go forth. Enjoy the DJs. Are they doing it for any particular reason, or is it just shits and giggles? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Thank you so much, everybody, for hyping Dahlia with their wonderful first purchase. Faboon coming in with the prime. Halfway to a stream, baby. Almost there, Faboon. I will inscribe your name on the mirror vein tomorrow morning when I go through and actually catch up with all of the fucking mirror of things that I need to do. By having your name on the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emos. But the most important thing is you go roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough? But God damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow. You know, you cheeky devil. How you doing, Jam Jar Brain? How's it going, you beautiful individual? Ghostbusters, yeah, the OG Ghostbusters was very 80s coded. Very 80s coded, but we got there. It was one of those things where I sat watching Ghostbusters being like, oh, this is so 80s coded, and then sat and watched Black Sheep and went, oh my fucking God. Never mind. For sure. It was peculiar. An acquired taste, if you will. It wasn't an acquired taste, Nibirin. You just thought it was hilarious. You were like, this is fucking excellent. It was unhinged as shit. Like, it was definitely a film. It was definitely an experience. It was a film that we experienced. Do you know what I mean? It was like this all the time. Hope it was longer, but it's not the same name. Oh, maybe it's somebody else called Sir Didymus, and I'm just I'm blending you two together. Two people called Sir Didymus that I am merging into one glorious entity. That could be a thing. That could definitely be a thing, for sure. You can show a filth wizard a trick, just put the censor filter on it. It's true. We have an entire section in the Discord of not safe for work stuff, for sure. Black Sheep equals Shaun of the Dead meets Babe. I feel like it was far more unhinged than that. It was Shaun of the Dead meets Babe if written by a League of Gentlemen. Like, that was where it was at. You know? Meow, indeed, Robo Blake. Indeed. How's it going, Can't Give a Duck? How you doing? You were not online, it broke the internet. That must be it. I was not online and therefore the internet broke. You know what I mean? Streamers don't have anything below the waist. Isn't that known? Exactly. It's all an illusion. All an illusion. We've seen your butt while you were fishing, though you are usually drinking at the time. That's true. That is very true. They are next level parties. And by the way, friends, I realized that there was a few people during that party, which was what, 2 weeks ago now? Fucking hell. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. There was people during that party that were trying to talk to me. I understand that can be really frustrating when you're trying to, like, send me a message for me to read and stuff, especially as normally I try and read every single message, but during a party, during a cult of vain party, there is little to no chance that I'm going to catch individual things. Either save those wonderful comments and messages and stuff for another stream when I am actually able to keep up with stuff, or just sit back and enjoy the indulgence. Do you know what I mean? Because it gets fucking chaotic. How's it going, Alexander Griffin? Can I get a shout out for hey Alexander Griffin, please? I'd appreciate that. Work in a hospital, some of our services were disrupted. Oh god, yeah, that's worse than banks. That's worse than banks. Faboon coming in with the prime, you cheeky devil. I appreciate that. Monster plus sugar cubes plus Monty. Why would you do this? Why? Love the dialogues in the original Ghostbusters. Hilarious. Yes, but they are very dated. They are hilarious, genuinely very well written. But when you sit back and you're like, oh, that's a bit persistent. This guy's not taking no for an answer. That's not cool. So, fully understanding that it is an 80s movie, and we can appreciate it as an 80s movie, and we can appreciate the fact that it was very much a product of its time, but we also appreciate the fact that we have moved on from that kind of behavior, which is what we should be talking about. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You're pissing yourself laughing. I have no doubt, Jam Jar. No, you'd seen Black Sheep before, right? Where you remember Kenny Everett? It wasn't just some mushroom-fueled TV show. I remember Kenny Everett doing a duet with somebody. Was it Dolly Parton? Did Kenny Everett do a duet with Dolly Parton at some stage or something like that? There are scenes in Black Sheep that make all of the rest of the movie worth it to put up with. Yeah, there was definitely moments of Black Sheep where I was like watching it being like, this is fucking hilarious. And then other moments where I was like, what am I looking? What is this? What am I even beholding here? What the fuck? What am I witnessing? What is this? Do you know what I mean? Certainly something that people acted in and people filmed it and they were uploaded to a service and then it was collectively watched by us. That is very true. As Rach said earlier, it was just like, this got funding. Somebody decided that this plot, this script was worth giving funding to. You know what I mean? As far as I know, there's only one Sir Didymus here. I hope so. There is another person with a name that is Sir Didymus. But evidently not you, Sir Didymus. But you're the only one here right now. So that's the only one. That's what matters, right? That's what really matters, right? Just keep thinking about Chris Farley when you say Black Sheep. Oh, is that the other fucking movie? I got so annoyed because I hired that movie by mistake. Black Sheep Chris Farley. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it fucking is. So we started watching Black Sheep on one streaming service, and then it had like adverts every 10 minutes, and I was like, fuck this noise. I'm just gonna fucking pay for it. You know what I mean? I'll just pay for it. It'll be fine and dandy. Went onto Amazon, good old Prime Video, because I have Prime. I was like, good old Prime Video. I will just pay for it. All fine and dandy. Started watching it. Not the same fucking movie. I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this? What have I spent my £3.49 on? What the fuck? What is this bullshit? Oh, there are two movies called Black Sheep, and I have spent money on one that I didn't even fucking want to watch. What the shit? So yes, the Chris Farley movie can chew a foreskin purely on account of the fact that I got it wrong. The bastards. Your evening duties. No worries, Wild Annie. You go. Have a wonderful, wonderful time. Whatever your evening duties are, I hope they're glorious and spectacular and make you big smile on your face and what have you, you know? Ads are incoming. Yes, thank you very much, Niverin. Thank you very much for the shout out for Hey Alexander Griffin. Please, friends, go and check out the glorious Hey Alexander Griffin. Wonderful, spectacular, happy-go-lucky scamp of an individual, very supportive, does tarot and crafty bits and pieces and plays story games, but only story games that make her cry. Only story games that tug on her heartstrings and make her weep for the sorrow of the characters. and you've also got a cat. Yeah, that as well. That as well. Euro Papa, how you doing, you beautiful individual? You cheeky devil, you. Isn't there a scene where one of them shags a ghost? Yes, in the original Ghost, the 1984 Ghostbusters, there is a dream sequence where one of the characters gets a cheeky little bit of necrophilic oral from a ghost. And that caused a lot of controversy. There was a lot of people being like, that's not okay. And it's like, it's meant to be funny. Come on. Come on. It's a ghost consenting to go down on somebody. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, there's that. I wasn't going to spoil it, but yeah, there was that character. Do love Rick Moranis. I love Rick Moranis. Every single movie I've seen them in, they've been absolutely fucking fantastic. And I love them even more at the fact that they decided to give up acting. Despite their fucking success, they decided to give up acting so that they could look after their family. And I love that. They made enough money and they were like, that's cool. I'm now going to give up acting so that I can actually spend time with my family. You know? Black Sheep is so horribly bad that it's good again. That's an accurate way of putting it. I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. Jams just stepped away from the keyboard but says, yeah, he's seen it before and it was more unhinged than he remembered. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I love that. Have you seen Llamageddon? I have not seen that. I don't even think I've ever heard of Llamageddon. I've heard of Velocipasta. I've heard of Sharknado. And I believe there's Sharknado 2 and 3 as well. I have not heard of Llamageddon. That's a new one on me. Who enjoys hinged horror? It needs to be unhinged. That's the point. I mean, yes. To a degree. To a degree. There was definitely points of it where I was just like, this is just gross. this is just straight up gross. You know what I mean? Wrong sheep. It was the wrong sheep. Big Witch with a B. Coming in with the 3 streams in a row, you cheeky devil. Thank you very much for coming in here. Streaking through here. Despite the fact that it's been raining all day. Outrageous. Don't worry, we'll put the heating on for you. You can dry off nicely. Stand by one of the radiators. You'll be alright. Be alright, right? People who like being scared by doors, maybe. Good Lord, Shade. Good Lord. Come on now. There are 3 movies called Black Sheep. The zombie sheep movie that we watched. The one that looks like some kind of political thing. There's another one. What's the other one? Black Sheep movie. So there's a 1996 movie, a 2006 movie, and there's an official No, that's for the 2006 movie. I can only find the 2. I can only find the 2 currently. How's it going, Europapa? How you doing, you beautiful bean? If I can pet the animals, then it's a good game. What, regardless of how much it wrenches your heart from your chest, Alexander Griffin? Just want to say thank you for configuring OBS to send the correct packets, which means that I can have subtitles. Thank you. Okay. To my knowledge, I can't give a duck. My OBS is not even sending anything, because OBS updated, and then the closed caption system that I used was like, yep, we no longer work anymore. And I was like, okay. Oh no, I did. I turned on. There is an experimental feature within OBS that is a closed captions experimental feature, and I've turned that on, so that might be it. The closed caption system still works. It throws an error, but it still works. I'm still using it. It's not popped up like it usually does. I get the error. I don't get the but I don't get my little window that tells me what I'm actually saying. How peculiar. But also, I can't give a duck, you're welcome. I like to be as accessible as possible. As you all well know, I do my absolute best to make everything I do as accessible as possible. Not just streaming, but also all the events and stuff that I do as well. Do you know what I mean? Heard the big news that came out of TwitchCon recently. I did hear the big news that came out of TwitchCon recently. I'm assuming that you're talking about the news about Emiru, Europapa. And I am happy to talk about it, if that's what people want to talk about. Yeah, that was bad. It was awful. It was absolutely fucking horrific. And I am shocked, but not surprised at Twitch's response to it. And the reason why I'm shocked but not surprised about it is because it's kind of exactly the same feeling of response that they gave when that streamer broke the base of her spine off one of the TwitchCon games, when they were doing like an assault course or something and fell onto the foam, but the foam was only this deep on a concrete floor, so they ended up smashing their, like, breaking their spine or breaking a part of their spine or their coccyx or something. It was bad. It's fucking awful. But the way that they responded to that situation was pretty much exactly the same way they responded to this situation. You've heard something happen, but you haven't heard what. Okay, let's talk about it so that it's all done. However, a couple of rules first. All right. Big trigger warning in the regards that it does deal with assault that could be deemed as just go home from shenanigans. Okay, we are going to very quickly talk about the situation that happened at TwitchCon San Diego this past weekend that has just occurred to a streamer called Emiru, who is a very large streamer. She has done a video responding to it. I have not seen that video yet. I have it pulled up because I would like to watch it, but it's like 48 minutes, so I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. The video, there was a video that went viral, and again, trigger warnings, giving everyone a heads up, trigger warnings, that it does involve a description of assault that could be seen as sexual assault because of the way that it works. But it's like it's not extreme sexual assault. It all happened within the convention of TwitchCon, and how do I go? Do you know what? We'll leave it at that. That's your trigger warning. It does involve assault. It does involve what could be considered to be sexual assault, but we didn't really see what had happened, and I haven't seen her response yet to find out like her perspective as to what happened. Right. The next thing I want to talk about is the fact that I do not want this to be an opening the door to people trauma dumping in chat. Okay? I'm going to be talking about the situation that happened with Emiru. I'm going to be talking about Twitch's response to it. I'm going to be talking about that whole situation. Thank you very much, Sembar, for throwing that out there. Appreciate that. Very much appreciate that. And tagging that while we talk about it. But this is not an open door for people to start talking about their own experiences. If you would like to do that, we have a section in the Discord called Vent and Rant Space where you are able to chat to your heart's content so long as you tag it and spoiler it and make sure that you've got all the trigger warnings and stuff in there so that people don't get a nasty surprise when they're reading your subject, okay? But I want to make sure that this doesn't spiral because it can very quickly. And the mods are under very, very strict instructions, giving you this heads up now, that if somebody starts turning around and being like, actually, I experienced this, that, or the other, they are going to delete your comment. Nothing against you, entirely my rules. Okay? We all good? We all right? Cool. So, this streamer called Emiru was doing a meet and greet at TwitchCon San Diego. Emiru does cosplay stuff, to my knowledge, and they play computer games, and they're a very, very large streamer. They are up in that top 0.01%. I don't know any of their content. I don't really know much about them, but they are a young, attractive woman on the internet who does like lots of cosplay bits and pieces. They have a very, very large fan base. They were booked to do a meet and greet with Twitch at TwitchCon for their fans. There was a video that went viral online where somebody was filming Emiru. Somebody was filming Emiru and was like, hey, look, there's Emiru. Oh, wow, can't wait to see her. All fine, dandy. And then while they were getting all excited about eventually meeting Emiru and filming, I think possibly a friend of theirs who was like stood at the side of like getting signed and taking photographs and all the usual stuff you do at meet and greet, an individual, a tall masculine individual walked from the side of the stage, past all of the queues, past all of the security, just walked without a fucking, nobody batted an eyelid, walked straight over to Emiru without her consent, without anything, just gave her a massive hug and what looks like tried to kiss her. What looks like tried to kiss her. At that point, the security guard that was stood at the side came over, immediately separated them and shoved him off. Emiru was taken by her manager into the back where like their little dressing room was, as it were, and the guy walked off. The security guard couldn't move because he was the only person there, and the guy walked off into the rest of the convention. Now, that is what happened on the video. That security guard was one of Emiru's head. I was just about to talk about that. Yeah, just about to talk about that. Emiru has her own security. In a previous situation, a previous convention, Emiru, I think it was a previous TwitchCon, but do not quote me on this. Emiru had her own security guard, somebody that she genuinely had a lot of faith in, a lot of appreciation for. And an altercation had happened, and her previous security guard had detained the individual and held them until security arrived, until the official convention security arrived, which is what seems to be the logical thing to do. Like if you're a security guard in a mall or what have you, if you're in a shopping center and you have detained somebody, you detain them until the police arrive to take their criminal away. That's what previously had happened. However, that security guard was banned from the convention. Yes, from TwitchCon, because he held the arm of a stalker on a previous TwitchCon. Thank you very much for clearing that up. Yeah, he prevented the stalker from getting anywhere near Emiru and held her arm until security could held the stalker's arm until security could take them away. That meant that because of the fact that he detained the individual, and whether that be just holding the person's arm or stopping them from going anywhere, he detained the individual, and that was enough for the TwitchCon / the venue, we're not entirely sure whether it was the TwitchCon themselves or the venue themselves, banned the bodyguard for manhandling. He did a citizen's arrest. Yes, but I don't know how that works in America. In the UK, I don't think that would have had quite the reaction, but in America, I don't know how that works. I don't know what the legal system is over there. But either way, her usual bodyguard was banned from the convention, so she hired another bodyguard. The bodyguard that separated them was the bodyguard, like her hired bodyguard. Twitch security were nowhere in sight. The person walked off into the rest of Twitch. We don't know if he was detained. Twitch said he was removed from the premises. We don't know if he was. Like, there's no certifiable evidence for it. It's all a bit out there, and yeah, I saw that, Semba. But thank you for sending that through. Her written response is quite aggressive, understandably, but effectively, the only people that were looking out for Emiru were her management. The only people that were there to provide security were her security. Twitch didn't seem to do anything. From the word of Emiru's management and Emiru herself, Twitch didn't check in on her. They didn't pop in to see if she was all right, ask her if she was okay, ask her if she wanted to speak to anybody. Didn't pop in to tell her what had happened with the individual. Like, there was no communication between Emiru, between Twitch, the situation, and Emiru and her management team. It was all her management team that dealt with the entire situation. And Twitch's security were nowhere to be seen. Twitch have made a statement, but the generic consensus, or TwitchCon, should I say, have made a statement, but the generic consensus is that Twitch would not have made a statement if the video didn't go viral. I don't know how true or not that is. I've got no clue. What I will say on it is that TwitchCon's history of dealing with awful, controversial situations that happen in their convention is to stay as quiet as possible until they have to say something. And we could see that from the person who broke her back off of one of TwitchCon's interactive things, which happened last year. Was it last year? Possibly the year before. A streamer broke their spine after she jumped off a thing and landed on concrete floor that was meant to be padded but wasn't, or was padded but not to health and safety regulations. And it's like, what the fuck? But yeah, Twitch made a statement, but only after they had to. So, not dealing more like, I really struggle with it. Because obviously I love Twitch. I'm here. This is what I do for a living. I do love Twitch. I love TwitchCon. I really enjoyed TwitchCon. I'm also an event manager. I organize my own large-scale events. Not large to the point of TwitchCon, but large enough. And it blows my mind that they have these 0.001% streamers doing meet and greets, and they didn't think to add security. That melts my brain. Oh, I can also say that from what I have seen, Emiru didn't even want to do the meet and greet. She had no intention of doing the meet and greet because she didn't, presumably because of previous situations, previous altercations with stalkers and stuff like that. but it was in her contract that if she wanted to do her show on Twitch, because she's got some kind of show on Twitch, if she wanted to air her show on Twitch, then she had to do a meet and greet at TwitchCon. Which it just all feels very icky to me. It all feels very little bit of vomit at the back of my mouth. And I personally do not like or respect the way that Twitch have dealt with this. I don't like or respect the way that Twitch have dealt with it at all. Are we doing a watch discussion of the aftermath of the video? I haven't watched the video she made. I watched the first 2 minutes and 51 seconds of it, which was like a video of the live stream that she did that was released on October the 19th. But I haven't seen anything else other than that. I'm kind of need to catch up with it all. I have unsurprisingly been very, very busy over the past couple of days, so I found out about it and was like, oh, all right, I need to be aware of this. And then have been manically busy, so I've got a certain amount of information, but I haven't responded. She did write her own response, and I'm gonna get the TwitchCon response as well, because then we can all do this properly together. If the TwitchCon response still exists, they may have deleted it. I'd be surprised if they did, but they may have done. Oh. All right, never mind. Let's have a look. Looks like TwitchCon have deleted their response or hidden it. Oh, you found it? Oh, it was Twitch. It wasn't TwitchCon that had a response. It was Twitch themselves. Because, you know, the TwitchCon profile needs to be all about hype. The Twitch themselves can do one. Right, okay. See how it is. All right. Let's have a look at this. This is something I wasn't going to talk about, but as it's been brought up, we as a community, we're all about safety, respect, and staying safe with this. So, and also because I'm a sex educator, something to deal with parasocial dynamics is something that I feel like we should talk about. Do you know what I mean? Thank you very much, Sembar, for sending that link to me. I appreciate that. So they stopped doing bars finally, right? How you doing, Urgol? How you doing? Twitch does not take any air, but let me catch up with chat a wee bit first before we get into this. She later came back to continue the meet and greets and said there was still nobody from Twitch there. Yeah. I saw that. The more I hear about TwitchCon, the less surprised I am. The more and more creators are ditching it for packs. It's a difficult one, because TwitchCon has the potential to be absolutely amazing. And you know what? When I went to TwitchCon EU, it was amazing. I really, really enjoyed myself. I had a lot of fun. It feels like there are a lot of things that are massively overlooked at TwitchCon. And as somebody who runs events, I don't understand how. I don't understand how. That's the bit that I really struggle with. I'm like, you are literally a massive international company that is running international events. You should have people on here, like on your team, that are well versed in running international events. You should be hiring people that are well versed in running international events and have experience in all of these different things. You have like one person who's the head of it, and then all of the little people. There should be a manager of the meet and greet section, and that manager should have security, should have the contacts, should have knowledge of exactly when every single person's going to be around doing exactly what they're going to be doing. making sure, checking in with every single one of them, making sure they're all right. That person should be the manager of that entire section, and that should be it. That person doesn't leave that fucking section the entire fucking weekend. And they are there on just in case anything like this ever happens. Any issues, somebody fucking queue jumping, they should be there. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole point of having like area managers in something like this. But then there's also a part of me that's like, were they cutting costs? As corporations have a tendency to do. Were they like, all right, we don't need an area manager per area anymore. We'll just have an area manager for one person can deal with 3 areas or something like that. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to go to one of your shows if you ever come to a town close to me. Tunakers, maybe one day. That's the dream. That's the dream for sure. Wasn't the woman who broke her spine an adult actress? Streamer Ariana. I've no idea. Stupidia. I honestly couldn't tell you. You're like a prisoner. Well, contracts be contracts. And I get the whole thing of like Twitch from a corporation point of view, from like a business point of view, being like, right, you want something from us, that's cool. Well, we can sell more tickets we can sell more TwitchCon tickets if you feature at the meet and greet. So how about we write it into the contract that you can do these things on our platform, do these events, and then you appear for this thing, which is absolutely fantastic. But then there should have been like it shouldn't have to be written into a contract that there's going to be security there for a streamer who is that fucking big. Let me just have a quick look here. That's probably the best one of doing it. For a streamer who has an average viewers in the past, let's go past 3 months. Her average viewers of the past 3 months has been 20,971 people. If you are a streamer that has an average viewership of 20k, you should expect extra security. You shouldn't have to ask for it. That should just be... Twitch should just fucking know that. Do you know what I mean? Little bit of accountability is basic maturity. Yeah, but that's not the way that corporations work. And you've got to understand, you have to understand a bit of social media psychology behind this. Okay, friends? And what I mean by social media psychology is that it has been proven. It has been absolutely proven. There have been studies on this shit. All right? That if you do something wrong, if a person or a company does something wrong in their existence, they do something wrong, they make a mistake, they fuck up, like they have done in this situation, they fuck up in some way, shape, or form. If you retort to it in any way, shape, or form, then it never goes away. If you ignore it and don't say a single fucking thing about it, it'll disappear in 3 weeks. No one will pay any attention to it. This is the way that social media psychology is. Everything has a lifespan of 3 weeks. And the example that I'm going to give there, and I really don't want to get into the conversation here, but it's just an example I'm going to give, is the Ukrainian invasion. Or the Russian invasion of Ukraine. That was, across the UK, that was the hottest of hot news. Everyone was talking about it. Every single day we get updates, find out what was going on. Every single day we would get updates. Everyone was talking about it all the fucking time. 3 weeks later, nobody cared. Or people did care, obviously, but it's still going on now. And I hear about it once every couple of months. And this is the difficulty when it comes to something like this, because if it hadn't have gone viral, this is why I say to myself, I'm like, if I think about this, like logically, if it hadn't have gone viral, would Twitch have made a statement? Would they have made a statement in any way, shape, or form? And chances are probably not. Probably not. Because why? Why rock the boat? Do you know what I mean? Google's Twitch initially only gave the guy a 30-day ban. Emiru had to push for an indefinite one. Where do you get that information, Big Witch with a B? Because there is a lot of misinformation about this going around. Disagree. I believe that it should be absolutely be written into the contract that any event venue will be providing security, at least within the US, because if they don't, then the event venue get to say they didn't ask, so our assumption and obligation was to treat it as like they had their own security. Yeah, Alec, I don't get me wrong, I completely fucking agree with you, absolutely. It blows my mind that wasn't even a consideration. The other thing is also that a portion of the contract should be boilerplate and only removed at the request of one talent. How do you mean boilerplate? Can you explain that one to me, please? How's it going, Druid S and Midian? No worries. You luck away, you cheeky devil. Security is vital, simple. You would think. You would think. The fact that also in that situation, thinking about this logically as well, the security guard that Emiru had probably hired in that situation, not her usual security, but this new security guard, was probably under instructions being like, don't detain somebody, and therefore didn't hold the guy until Twitch security came in, because previously that meant their security got banned. Do you know what I mean? It's a fucking horrible situation to be in. Maybe they pulled security because they brought her in. Well, let's have a look. Let's read what they've officially said. Okay, so this, after it all went viral, this came out. It would be interesting. Could somebody get me a date for when it happened? When the initial incident happened, pretty please. While I'm going through this, so we can find out exactly how long after it happened that this occurred. That would be wonderful. Okay. So, in answer to what happened, Twitch have responded on their own profile and not the TwitchCon profile, and it wasn't retweeted on the TwitchCon profile. Boilerplate means standard. Okay, boilerplate is a term for the standard portion in every contract of the type. So that should be a default portion of all the contracts they present should have it, and only have it removed if expressly declined in negotiation by someone on the talent side. Okay, I've got you. So 18th of October, do we know what time? So it was on the same, within the same 24 hours, because obviously this will be UK time, but within the same 24 hours. Okay, so they said the safety and security of all those attending TwitchCon is our highest priority. The behavior displayed by the individual involved in the incident yesterday involving a high-profile streamer was completely unacceptable and deeply upsetting. That is true. It was unacceptable and it is deeply upsetting. For 210%. In line with existing TwitchCon security protocols, law enforcement and event security were on site and responded to the incident. We didn't see any of that. We didn't see any of that. We did not see any TwitchCon security. We didn't see any law enforcement. All we saw, the only thing that we saw, was Emiru's own personal, one single individual security guard. We immediately blocked this individual from returning to the TwitchCon premises, and they are banned indefinitely from Twitch, both online and in-person events. We are coordinating with the impacted creators team and per our standard protocols, continuing to cooperate with any law enforcement investigations. We have increased security at the meet and greet attendee check-in point, and we'll have additional security personnel surrounding the participating streamers. If you have RSVP'd for a meet and greet, please note that we are unable to accommodate +1s for the remainder of the event. Twitch has zero tolerance for harassment or acts that inhibit the safety and security of our community. Okay. On site but not nearby, yeah. Emiru has said that they originally were only going to ban him from the platform for 30 days, and an hour later changed it to indefinitely. That is interesting. Yeah, here we go. Readers have added context. Twitch staff originally allowed the assailant to walk away and only apprehended him and escorted him out when they were pressed to do so by Emiru's manager. Also, numerous accounts have said that while the tweet says no more +1s, they are indeed allowing them. That's really interesting. That's very, very interesting. Okay. Then we have Emiru status, which is, this is in response to that. My thoughts to this are not kind, which is entirely fair. That is an entirely appropriate reaction to that Flish Shields. Obviously, now we have to be bearing in mind, okay, that corporate speak is very, very specific. And what I mean by specific is any corporation, not just Twitch, any corporation that exists on the planet need to be very careful about what they publicly say so that they cannot be held liable or their words cannot be used against them if it ever gets to a point of court of law. So there is a very, very good chance that the statement that we have just read has passed several lawyers before they made it official. There was a good chance that the PR team wrote up an entire message and then sent it to a law team and went, is this all right? And they went, no, make these edits. Before they went public. Okay? I have a friend who is a female content creator, and while she only averages 200 to 500 viewers, I'm extremely concerned because she is on the panels, etc. I'm a moderator and see what the creeps say in her auto mode chats. I'm extremely concerned for her and other safety. Right, okay. Completely legitimate concerns. Kels? Completely legitimate concerns. Let's also remember, though, that these incidents do very much happen, but they are rare. They don't happen all the time. Does that mean that you should forget all of your concern? Not by any stretch of the imagination. You should 110% check in with your friend, check in with people. I've sent a message in my to my stream team, to all my friends, just being like, just heard about some of the shit that's happened on thingy, and the security are rumored to be not that great. Please, please, please be careful. Because I have friends that are at TwitchCon that are reasonably high mid-level 200 to 500 viewers, content creators. The head of my stream team, Selena, is there, and she's doing a meet and greet. My mind immediately went to her and was like, fucking hell, I hope she's all right. You know? But yeah, entirely fair to be concerned. But do not let that worry overtake you. Okay? Technically correct, probably, yeah. It's so clear that the event staff had little to no training because my friend needed an elevator access, which was in the partner lounge area, and had to fight for it. I think... How do I talk about this? Ada, American Disability Access. Thank you very much for explaining. I appreciate that. Ada. It needs to be said, and this is not me defending TwitchCon. I have no invested interest in this entire story at all, other than to relay and explain and talk about this from an understanding point of view. Okay. I have no defense, and I am not defending anything that has happened. I am merely offering some context. Okay? When it comes to these large-scale events, like conventions and stuff like that, there are certain dynamics that happen. First of all, you have the company that are running the convention, in this case, TwitchCon. Then you have the venue that are running the venue side of things, hiring the area. Sometimes within that, they will provide things. Now, more often than not, when you hire a venue space, and the venue space will come with certain packages. So it'll be like, do you want the venue? Do you want the venue? Do you want the venue alone? Do you want the venue plus a bar? Do you want the venue plus a bar and staff? Do you want people to run the doors for you? Do you want to use our security? They will have their own packages that come with prices. And those prices are usually quite a lot higher than if you did it all yourself, because you pay for the convenience. When it comes to large-scale events like this, it's cheaper sometimes. Yeah, event staff are different from the actual venue staff, yeah. Sometimes there's a lapse in communication between the venue staff and event staff regarding ADA from the former hospitality experience. Completely understand that, absolutely. But also, it also needs to be said that there are other companies out there that hire just event staff. And 9 times out of 10, having worked for those event companies before in the UK, it's we need somebody to stand in this place and scan wristbands. Or we need somebody to stand in this place and scan QR codes and give people wristbands. They don't be given any particular formal training. They work for minimum wage. It's literally you need some extra cash, come down for the weekend, stand in this spot, scan shit. It is about as automated as a human being can do. Yeah, day staff is basically a staffing agency. Yeah, exactly. Now, is that any justification for people not getting the accessibility requirements that they need? No, not at all. Within those teams, there should always be somebody that knows the like ADA accessibility legal requirements and what they are providing and where to go to get all of the bits and pieces, where to get all that information, etc. That stuff should always, there should always be one person, like a manager on a team of people that knows all of that information. Do they always know that information? Not always. It depends on usually who's doing the hiring and how reliable that staff are, and whether the overall, the upper umbrella of the company, like TwitchCon, have gone for quality over cheap. Have they just turned around and gone, right, we need 800 minimum wage people to run this event for the next thingy days. These are all the things we need. Here's a folder of stuff that we need from you. Do it. And they're like, yeah, cool, no worries, we'll fill all that. That's what it was like when I went to Slam Dunk Festival in Leeds. You scan a ticket, put a wristband on for about 4 hours in exchange for a free ticket to the festival. If you do it for 8 hours, you get to see the headliners and free merch. It was so easy, yeah. But in which case, Tinks, the question to you, did you get any formal training in how to deal with disability access? Did you get any formal training in what to do if there was a security issue? I would imagine as well, with it being a festival and stuff like that, like terrorism, for example. Any kind of formal training on that scenario? I've seen a number of events that have a mark if you have accessibility requirements when signing up for the event. So they have just different pass wristbands, a pass tag that gives them access to the elevators, etc. Yeah, from what I was reading from Alexandra there, it feels like they were the person that had marked that. But just because they mark it doesn't mean that they get it, if that makes sense. It might be like, okay, you've got your pass now. Now you need to go get your elevator requirement pass from these people. And if you don't know where those people are, it really comes down to communication issues. If every single one of those employees was given a little pack that just literally like a little A5 pack that just was like flip-o pamphlet that was like, okay, look for ADA, look for disability, look for accessibility things. Okay, there we go. All right, so you need to go to this place. But again, that's all money that's going out of the pockets of somebody, you know? Just shown how to scan on the iPhones and put the wristbands on, not too tight. There you go. Disability access was out in a different place. Yeah. Did you know where the disability access was, Tinks? Do you get told that if somebody turns up that needs like accessibility access, like where to direct them? Used to volunteer at a festival here in the US, and most of the people working here were unpaid volunteers. They even had ADA people. A lot of there are some disability charities that offer volunteers to go out and work at these festivals to do all of the disability access stuff. Don't remember there being many security guards near us. 5 lines for 1 guard. Yeah. Usually within the UK, if I remember correctly, legally you have to have, oh fucking hell, let me remember this. It's like 1 security guard for every 90 people or 1 security guard for every 100 people or something like that. So if they expected only 100 people in that area, then at any one time, then they would only legally need 1 security guard. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, let's read Emiru's response to that statement. I'm not going to sit and watch the 48-minute thing with all of you now, because that would be me stealing other people's content, and also we don't need to keep going on about it. I will watch it myself, though, because I am interested purely from my own curiosity point of view, and also from a professional curiosity point of view, from like an event management and having a personal interest in the dynamics of parasocial relationships. 88 people weren't from a company, they were volunteers from the festival. Oh, are you saying... Oh, right, okay. So the volunteers were 88 people. Oh, right, okay, interesting. That's a poorly structured thing. If it's a pre-order for the event, then the tags should be in a bag for that person and not separate location. Completely fucking agree. Completely agree, Alec Wallace. But if there's one thing that I have learned about human beings, is they are not logical. They are not a logical collection of individuals at all. And thus will absolutely make things far more complicated for themselves than they need to be. Because in somebody's head, that will be the most logical course of action, and that person will have the power to step over anybody who's like, hey, maybe we should put them all in the bag together, so they only have to go to one place. You know? 1 for every 100, but apparently it's gone up to 1 for every 150. Cheaper for event organizers, absolutely, but certainly makes it more dangerous. Volunteered at big festivals in the Netherlands and got there via a security company that was hired to protect the festival, and it was private, but it was very well organized. Ticket scanners and drink/food token sellers were volunteers from the festival. Right, okay. Just watch the video. He just walks up without being stopped. Yeah, he doesn't at all. Like, literally walks up bold as brass. I would imagine what probably went through everybody's head in that situation, just purely based on what little I know about like psychology and stuff like that, is that whole thing of, if you walk up with confidence, no one will question you. And they probably, people walking, like watching him walk by, being like, oh, okay, is he like a staff member or something that needs to tell something to Emiru? Is he like, that's what would have got, if I was there, that's what would have gone through my head. When I watched the video, obviously I knew the context of it, but as I watched the video, I was like, oh, is this guy going to tell her that like a stalker's there or something, or she needs to be careful of somebody in the queue or something like that? No, he is the problem. Oh, shit. But it's mind-boggling that is, like, nobody stopped him and went, hey, can I see your fucking staff pass or something like that? Do you know what I mean? Because but then that isn't Emiru Security's responsibility. That should be Twitch security standing at these areas, making sure that nobody skips the queue, making sure that nobody's there, then fucking make sure that everything's all right. Because fucking hell, that could have gone so much fucking worse. Let's be very, very clear. Like, sure, it was only, and I say only because I'm sure it was still very fucking traumatic for her. It was only a hug and possibly trying to kiss her, which is awful. But what happens if he went up and fucking stabbed her? Let's be very clear at how serious this could have gone. Because it has happened before to many celebrities. Like, he was close enough to hug her. He was close enough to fucking murder it if that was his intent. Do you know what I mean? Parasocial relationships are a very weird and powerful phenomenon. They're not a phenomenon. I've literally fucking seen them. I have experienced them myself, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I've accidentally fallen victim to it. Oh, have you? Right, okay. Had to slap myself up the head when I got upset. I really feel for creators. I have definitely been on the other side of it. Like, I have not been parasocial for somebody else, but I have had people parasocial for me. And it can be quite scary. As I have said several times in the past, somebody, a viewer that I believed was living in Thailand, sent me a Google image of my own house. Like a street view. Here is your house. It can get really, really, yeah, unnerving. That would freak me right out, yeah. It freaks my right out. Now, for me, I took the time. I don't know why I fucking do this shit. I took the time to explain to them why that wasn't okay. Because my view was, this is really fucking unnerving. Oh my fucking God. And then when I finally calmed down, I went, they probably don't realize that this is not okay. So I took the time to message them and be like, hey, I don't know why you've sent me this. This isn't okay behavior. Allow me to explain the reason why it's not okay behavior, and then I'm going to block you. Because I want you to learn from this situation so that you don't do it to anybody else. Whether they actually absorbed any of that or not is another question entirely, but that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is not to fix people. My responsibility is to give the information, and they should do with it as they need to, you know what I mean? My partner does doors and doesn't agree with it. One guard has no chance of that many people. No, not all. Not even fucking slightly. 1 for 100 I thought was quite extreme. Being content creator streamer at every level of viewership grows parasocial issues. Time comes, there's no avoiding it in some ways. Yeah, no, not by interest, imagination. My first parasocial experience on Twitch was when I was averaging 7 viewers. Don't think it's just a thing that happens to bigger creators. It really isn't. You've got to be really, really careful. Know your own boundaries. Do not be afraid to enforce them. Just watch it too. Almost looks like he tried to approach her for a second time after initially being shoved off. I don't know. I don't know the situation there, but yeah. Watch the first few minutes of the video, and she said that she wondered, is the event staff coming to give me a message? Yeah, exactly. If somebody walked up to you bold as fucking brass like that, you'd be like, oh, is there something I need to be aware of? Oh shit, you're hugging me. What the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Saw the video, and when they escorted him out, he whipped something out. He whipped something small out in his hand. I didn't see that. Couldn't see what it was, but if it was a weapon, like, security is super thorough when checking bags. Security weren't super thorough when checking bags at TwitchCon EU either. But I understand why. They had the big metal detector things. They were like, right, we'll do the bag searches and stuff like that. Absolutely. But when you are dealing with that many people, when you're dealing with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, 1,000 odd people trying to come into the one door at the same time, the stress, the pushing people through, people being leery, just, why can't I fucking get in? I need to get in. It's fucking horrible. It's a horrible situation to be in. So I can understand them being like, okay, having a look around. Yeah, nothing looks threatening. That go. Do you know what I mean? Or drugs. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah. Made a mistake of thinking someone was actually my friend. I was actually friends with somebody. It wasn't. That was my mistake, not theirs. I pulled back to make sure I didn't cross any lines. Do you know what, Flish Shields? Good on you. Good on you. Genuinely, it takes a hell of a lot to make those connections, a hell of a lot of self-awareness to make those connections and be like, oh, actually, okay, this isn't a friendship. This is, I am a viewer, you know? And those lines can be very, very blurred. Like I say, our friends were doing this. Well, like, I call you all friends. Absolutely. Will I meet up with you in TwitchCon and have fucking photos with people and give you the fucking hug? 110%. Definitely, absolutely fucking would. But there is a difference between, like, friends in this dynamic and, like, the friends, like my moderators, for example, who are all close friends, you know? Is that different situation? There are people that I've met on Twitch that are genuinely some of the closest fucking friends I've got. Abso-freaking-lutely. But there is a difference. And knowing that difference is really, really important. Really, really important. And Flish Shields, I don't want to... I want to make sure that you understand how much I appreciate your self-awareness there, because it's very easy to spiral and think and start finding reasons as to why the truth couldn't be the truth. It's really, really important that you understand how fucking good that is. Value too kind sometimes. Yeah, but I also understand the fact that first of all, I'm a cisgender man, which, like it or not, that makes the threat to me significantly less than to other people of other genders. Second of all, I also have an overabundance of spoons, mental capacity to be able to deal with shit. And third of all, I also have a really, really strong justice complex. So when I see an opportunity to be like, right, this is affecting me, I can deal with this situation now, and I can take a moment to explain to this person why this behavior isn't okay, so it is less likely to happen to anybody else in the future, I will take that opportunity. Does it put me at risk? Yes. Yes, it does. Does that matter to me? No. Not really. Because it means that I'll be able to, well, I'll hopefully be able to help somebody else out in the future, and hopefully help them, that person, realize that behavior isn't okay and that it's actually very damaging, not only to them but to the people they make contact with, you know. How did that go? Luna Butterfly, they said they understood, and then they begged me not to block them, and I said, you've left me no choice, because this kind of behavior is not okay, and now I don't feel safe around you. So I'm glad that you've understood. Whether they had or not is another question entirely. Whether they were just saying that they understood purely so that I would not block them, whatever. And then I blocked them. So that was that. So yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one, you know. Emiru also mentioned that if this happened to her, she can only imagine it happened to other streamers who are not as popular as her, and it not being reported. Yeah. Well, we have seen that not just with TwitchCon, but with a hell of a lot of conventions, very specifically gaming conventions, where more and more individuals are talking about assault. Let's be honest about this. Assault in some way, shape, or form. How's it going, Wiccan Dreamer? How you doing, you beautiful being? Welcome on in. To be honest, your 1 out of 10 is dangerous. Yes, look into the prison riots and unarmed prisoner versus armed prison guards. You have the prisoners taking control in smaller ratios. Yeah, for sure. It is, but also you can't have like one security guard for every 10 members. It just financially isn't viable. 1 for 100 doesn't feel too bad, and the reason, well, I would prefer 1 to 70, but it doesn't feel too bad because in a smaller venue like the venues that I work in, like, we usually have 2 to 3 security guards depending on the event and how many people are coming and stuff like that. I try to do it for 1 to every 70 to 100 participants, guests. We have had 1 incident in the entirety of the events that I've ever run ever, like literally 1 incident, and in that incident the security guard radioed to the other 2 and they all just appeared. They were like, right, let's fucking deal with this shit. I have seen bigger incidents, I have seen much bigger scenarios, but the way that security coordinate, because most people in those environments, in an event environment, don't want to be kicking off. Most people want to just be enjoying themselves, having a good time. They don't want to be kicking off. you know? So in that regard, the security have a better chance of being able to handle it and manage it. Oh, thank you very much, Senbai. Yeah, Painted Lady, I appreciate that, but yeah. Well, I don't want to divert too far. TwitchCon US was shit. Well, we're just talking about what happened to Emiru. I don't know Emiru as a streamer. I've heard of them, but I don't really know anything about them. Makes sense. Man to all, the subject was to be restrained to this event. Yep, thank you very much. Just relating current conversations is right. No, I appreciate that, but let's just keep it refined to, yeah, we don't want to open the door too much. I gave an example earlier and I was like, right, let's leave it at that example, but I appreciate that Painted Lady. There are many different levels and nuances to friendship, especially now in the digital age. Very much so, very much so. And online friends are real friends. There are plenty of friends that I've got online that I have never met in real life. But that doesn't mean that everyone you meet online is your friend. Lolo, how you doing? Welcome on in. Microwave pizza, yay! Dang, that side, yeah. Right, let me read through what Emiru's response was. So we've gone through Twitch's response to it, which was a very corporate response, and understandably, they will have been very, very careful about what they did say and what they did not say, so as not to have anything held against them liably, you know. Hello everyone, I am okay, this is good, and thank you for all the kind messages. I cannot respond to them all, obviously. If you've got 20,000 viewers on an average stream, I can only imagine how many people were sending them messages being like, are you all right, are you okay? Yesterday, the man who assaulted me was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon and even in front of another creator's meet and greet to grab me and my face to try and kiss me. So he did try and kiss her. Okay. Fortunately, he wasn't able to, but a lot of people have pointed out that it could have been a lot worse, as we just talked about. Welcome on in, Floral Goats. How you doing? Also does not look well set up. Line dividers like ropes can slow crowds down enough to at least have time to react. Yeah, I don't know. The video that I saw, maybe I'll watch it again to make my assessment a bit more. Obviously, I was dealing with the exact situation that happened. Oh, I've just realized the ad breaks are on, so I will take a moment to just pause it. Do you know what? I'm gonna go grab myself a bottle of water. Friends, get up, have a stretch your eyes in the distance, look in the distance. Don't forget to take your meds if you haven't taken them. Have a breather, stretch your lungs out, especially if you're wearing a binder. Don't forget to take stuff out of the washing machine. I'll be back in like 2 minutes after the ads are over, and then we'll get back to this. All right. Won't be a second. Just open myself a nice bottle of Wasser and dribble it everywhere. Okay. My friend who's a streamer has been unspoken, but we crossed the line between mod and streamer when she started sharing stuff about her personal life with me that general viewership was not allowed to know. Yeah, exactly. You got your friendships and what have you. Absolutely, for sure. It's entirely down to the individual, for sure. Going to England from the US next summer. Going to be in the Newcastle area. Yeah. Newcastle is a fantastic area. I've been there many times. Back in no time, no problem. Yeah, all good. That's too bad. That's not too bad an area. As a reminder, please keep where you live broad. Last thing you want is to be doxxed. Yeah, absolutely. Looking out for you all, for sure. Thank you very much, Jamja. Love me some good aqua. Yeah. Well, recently I've been real fucking dehydrated because of everything that has been going on, but I'm like, I know that I'm getting ill. I know that there's lurgy in my system, so I'm like, I want to just keep hydrated, you know? Bit of splish splash. That is it. Oh yeah, we were jumping straight into here. Thanks for the med reminder. Almost forgot. Not a problem. Okay, so back to it. We'll go back from the beginning so that we're all catched up with it. So, hello everyone, I'm okay. Thank you for all the kind messages. Sorry, I cannot respond to them all. Understandably, there will be a God knows. Jesus, I've got notifications. This is the first time I've been on Twitter in a long time. Yesterday, the man who assaulted me was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon, and even in front of another creator's meet and greet, to grab me and my face and try and kiss me. Fortunately, he was not able to, but a lot of people have pointed out that it could have been a lot worse. It most certainly could have been a lot worse. We are talking... Well, we know that celebrities have been murdered because of situations like this in the past, so yeah, we can only imagine. I'm obviously shaken up by what happened, and it's not the first time that I've dealt with something like this, but to tell you honestly, I'm a lot more hurt and upset by how Twitch handled it during and after the fact. This does not surprise me. This does not surprise me. Like I said, I don't understand how he was allowed to make it to me in the first place. The security in the clip who reacted is my own security. It's true my favorite and usual security guard was banned for holding a stalker's arm to bring him to police at a past TwitchCon. So she's already had situations like this. There's already been occurrences at a TwitchCon, very specifically. And this wasn't taken into account. I mean, Twitch staff at the convention stuff could be like a high turnover. It might be people that have never even considered it. It doesn't sound like very good excuses to me. Do you know what I mean? Definitely something going around. Spent most of yesterday and today asleep. Not sure what I'm coming down with, but I have a feeling it won't be fun for whatever it is. I definitely felt that way this morning and was just like, right, fucking get up and keep going. Otherwise, if I stop, I'll crash. You're handling this so well, by the way. Glad we could have a good talk about it. Also, the mods, Floral Goats, thank you very much for that. I appreciate the compliment. We will happily talk about a lot of very difficult situations. But we do so with an understanding of respect, perspective, and trying to go into every situation as neutral as possible. Obviously, it's quite hard because we all have our own biases, etc. But we try and be as neutral as possible. Yeah, however, there were at least 3 or 4 other TwitchCon security staff in the area who did not react and let the guy walk away. As you can see in the clip, they don't even appear in the frame. I mean, I saw the guy walk away. I'm going to have to watch the clip again. I'm not going to show it because I do not want to trigger anyone. Okay. Is this the OG? Just giving it another watch. Trying to gauge. All right, okay, so I'm not going to show it because I don't want to trigger anybody. I can see where another panelist is. I can see how the queue is working round to see Emiru. And I didn't see him walk in front of the other panel from the clip that I'm looking at here, but the clip's only 10 seconds long. So from what Emiru was saying, he walked in front of the other panel, walked straight past, and then tried to kiss her. And it's very obvious that he is trying to kiss her. Like that is, now that I've seen it again, it's very obvious that that is happening. Okay. And Emiru is saying that there were 3 or 4 other TwitchCon security staff in the area. who did not react and let the guy walk away. The guy does, on the main on the main video that I've seen, he does end up walking away, just literally out of the corner. I'm trying to find the original, because there's the now, of course, because of the fact that it's gone viral, as it were. Nobody, like, everyone's responded to it, and of course the algorithm has been like, I'm going to show you all of these other people's responses as opposed to the thing that you actually want to see. Never mind. Anyway. Yeah. So the TwitchCon security staff, from what I can gather based on the clip, there was the queues. The queues would all come round here. Then the line where was the space. Then the meet and greet people at this end. And the security was somewhere outside of the camera area. Which means that there was nothing between guests and the creators other than their own security if they... Excuse me. If they brought their own security. Which she obviously did. And that still was delayed, as it were, you know? Emmy was also, at the time, obviously, also doing a meet and greet. The guy stood next to her during the assault looked completely dumbfounded by what he was watching. Yeah, because I can understand why, Jamjar. I can understand why. I mean, you're a person that's stood in line to meet your favorite streamer. A streamer that gets 20,000 views. Somebody that is, in all purposes, a celebrity. And you're finally there and you're like, oh my God, I'm stood next to my favorite person. This is great. This is absolutely fantastic. Oh my God, that's so cool. I've actually met Emiru. Oh my God, little bit starstruck, little bit wild. This is fantastic. And he walks in front of you and you go, oh, is this like Twitch staff or something like, oh, okay. All right. Oh God, this is an assault? What the fuck? Like, it just, yeah, dumbfounded. Absolutely fucking dumbfounded. Wouldn't know what to do in that situation at all, you know? And there's also the question of, can I do anything in that situation? Because she's a celebrity, and if I try and get involved, am I gonna look like the bad guy? You know? Ooh. Do I want to talk about that? There was a situation at a TwitchCon years and years and years and years and years ago. Where I witnessed a creator manhandling another creator. A creator who was very, very, very drunk. Manhandling another creator in very inappropriate ways. And I felt deeply uncomfortable about it. And as you know, I have a very, very strong justice complex. And my entire body was like, I need to do something about this. And then I was like, but I'm the only cis guy here. And if I jump in here, am I going to get shit for it? Am I going to be like all of the things, all of the justice complex got held up by being like, can I even jump into this? Can I even stop this from happening? Is that something that I'm even able to do as a cisgender man? In this situation that involves people who are not cisgender men. So I completely understand the whole dynamic of being like, I want to do something, and then being like, I don't know whether I can, or am I going to make this horrifically worse? The whole fight or flight response, 99% of the time when it comes to justice complex, I'm very much like, get involved, stop everything from happening, jump on in. But there's still a part of me that goes, ooh, am I even able to do this? Is this something I'm allowed to do? Do you know what I mean? Just watched the video again and noticed he had something in his hands when he was walking away. That's a good point. Yeah, Alexander Griffin said that. Can I do Emiru? The original video, please. Again, not going to show it. Not going to let you hear it. Stop being a fucking article. Just give me the original video, please. Fuck that. Where did I originally see it? Okay, yeah. Oh, good. Penguin Zero has actually got the full clip. Yeah, and he just walks away. Right. Going back a little bit. I don't know whether that's something in his hand or whether it's a wristband. I can see why people might think it's something in his hand, but I don't know whether it is. Just the wristband flapping. Do you know what I mean? How's it going, Alpaca? How you doing? Look to me like a pen or something. It's a heck of a time to visit. How you doing, Brentley? How you doing, you beautiful individual? Yeah, we're just talking about the situation that happened with Emiru at TwitchCon. I'm still working my way through her response, but just wanted to get a bit more context. A bit of wristband from dangling his arm as he lifts it. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Freezing is such a common response in those situations. That's why security is trained to act when something unexpected happens. 9 times out of 10, I act. Floral goats, absolutely. Takes training for a reason. Yeah, 100%. 9 times out of 10, I act just because I've got such a strong business thingy. Thank you very much, Semba. I'll take that in a minute. But that specific situation was quite a unique one where I was like, ooh, this could be very, very problematic for me. Obviously, if someone had said help, I'd have been fucking in there, but people shouldn't have to say help for people to realize that things aren't right. Do you know what I mean? I think it's more important that he got in arm's reach. Things like this should never happen. Agreed. I think that's the OG one. Thank you very much, Semba. I will pop over here for a second. See if I can, because once I click this link, it'll open up in this thingy. Cool. Muted. Cool. Yeah, I can't tell whether that is something in his hands or whether it's... Ooh. No, he definitely picked something up. He takes something from one hand to the other. I thought it was like his wristband flapping, but he doesn't. He actually takes something from one hand to another and then just walks away. Are they security? Okay, yeah. No, I've got a bit of context now that I've seen the original video. And thank you, Sembar, for getting me the original video. Because that could have been really problematic with just going off second or third hand information. Freeze at 9 seconds, you see his hands are empty, but the wristband is what's dangling. It just looks off because the camera quality isn't great. No, there's a point where after he's been pushed off, he's just about to turn, and he turns to walk away, and he goes like this. And like he's got something in this hand, and he moves it to the other hand, and there's like a specific line. I can understand why people think it's a pen. It might be a pen. He might have been going in to ask for an autograph or something like that, or he might have been that. I was about to say, in regards to like having it could have literally been nothing related to the situation that actually happened. But the fact of the matter is that he had something in his hand. He definitely had something in his hand. We're not going to speculate on why somebody would or would not do something. Yes, thank you very much. No need to speculate about worse things when they happen when it's already big enough. Agreed. To be fair, here in the US, there have been meet and greets that have ended up a lot worse. Yes, yeah, we've talked about that, Brentley, and we're being very careful. For those people that have just joined us, we are being very careful to be only talking about this current situation. We're not going to branch out into other situations that have happened and what have you. And we're being very careful to make sure that we stay within that. We don't get too carried away with stuff. And also, this isn't an open door to allow people to talk about their own experiences in bits and pieces. So let's just remember that. So if the mods have deleted something, or they do delete something, please just remember it's within my personal requirements, because I don't want this to spiral. Okay. Which makes not having proper security. So from what I saw, when the guy gets escorted out, so the security guards pushes him off, goes back and makes sure that Emiru's all right. Well, works on a bit, and the guy walks up. He walks past another creator's meet and greet and walks past Twitch staff. Whether that member of Twitch staff is just an employee or whether they're security, I don't know. I've got no idea. They do seem to walk by, specifically by Twitch staff. Whether that person has a radio to be able to radio it through, again, don't know. Don't know. Brandon, but do you think Twitch's response or lack of would have been different if it was male or another gender that was approached and touched without consent? I don't really want to speculate on that, Painted Lady. I think that regardless of gender, it really depends on how it goes viral. And because I don't think this is I don't think Twitch's response is something has happened to Emiru. I think Twitch's response is, what do we formally say about security and safety at TwitchCon that isn't going to get us sued for libel or can be held against us in a court of law? Twitch is waiting for the lawyers. Twitch have already released a response, and it very much seems like it's been past lawyers. But I genuinely don't think it has, like, their response has anything to do with gender. I don't think it has anything to do with even the individual. I think it's entirely to do with, here is our generic response on safety and security that has gone by our legal team so that it can't be held against us in a court of law. That's what I think it is. Which every corporation would do. This isn't an unusual thing that Twitch are doing that makes them really fucking dodgy. This is what every corporation will ever do in these situations. This isn't, let's be very clear that this isn't unusual, right? No worries, Caramel. You take it easy, you beautiful bean. Yeah, exactly. A bit of self-care. And that goes for everyone. If people need to step out, fully understandable. Appreciate you all. But look after yourself first. Look after your spoons first, right? Is that not just the camera pixelating because it's moving so fast? No, I don't think so. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Just out of curiosity, I wonder if they would have acted differently in regard. I don't think so. Do meet and greets all the time at my arena, and the contracts always says they want 6 uniform KCPD officers there. We've never had a problem. No, I don't think so. And do you know what, Brentley? It's interesting because we were talking about contracts earlier, and the reason why this specific creator, Emiru, did the meet and greet in the first place was only because she was contracted to do. She didn't want to do it. But part of the contract she had with Twitch was you can only do your show, whatever show that is, on Twitch if you do a meet and greet at TwitchCon San Diego. So there was evidently contractual obligations there. Whether it said within that contract, as Alec Wallace pointed out earlier, that there needed to be security there, that there needed to be Twitch security, or whether it was like, I'm going to bring my own security, I couldn't say. Do you know what I mean? I think Emiru might have had a pen in her hand and he takes it off her. Ooh, maybe. That's a possibility. Can we move on from the pen discussion? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Honestly, makes the whole thing even worse. It makes it scarier, for sure. For sure. Something in his hands until he drops it. No, he definitely had something. From what I can see, he definitely seems to have something in his hands. But yeah, let's move on from the whole thing of what... There's no way to know about what he could or could not have had in his hands. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The fact of the matter is he got close enough to hug and try and kiss her, which that in itself it has so many problems to it. Do you know what I mean? Just found it still shocking that Twitch haven't responded well to this. Twitch have responded corporately. Twitch have responded in the exact way that you would expect a corporation to respond. It's got nothing to do with anything else. Like I said, it's not a case of we're really sorry. Oh my god, this is awful. We really feel for her. This is we are a faceless organization, a faceless corporate organization. What do we legally say that addresses the situation but can't be held against us in a court of law? That's what that is. Because corporations are faceless. They don't care about individuals. They care about themselves. That's the way that all corporations are. Every single one of them. They just are that way, right? Such a shame that something like this has to go viral before a formal response is made, though. I think, to be honest with you, Painted Lady, I think the only reason we got a formal response is because it went viral. I think that's the only reason. Because if it hadn't have gone viral, and this is my own speculation on it, if it hadn't have gone viral, then Emiru would have spoken to her community about something that happened. And Twitch would have been like, oh, really? We didn't know about that. Well, potentially, depending on how Emiru decided to take it forward, whether she decided to, I don't know, depends what it says in the contract, breach contract, something like that, you know. Twitch covering their asses, nothing more. Exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah.
It's a raid. Flee! Flee!
Oh my lordy, ladies and gentlemen, all genders outside between, delve deep into your pits of popcorn and throw them at the raiders, throw them at these cheeky devils. Look at these people coming in here. I mean, really, could you even imagine? Who do they think they are? The absolute audacity, the scandal, the preposterousness. Good lord. It is the glorious, the beautiful, the exquisite. Hello, it's Colo. Hello, it's Colo. How are you doing, you beautiful individual? How are you doing? What's the hippie hap? What have you been chatting about? What are you doing today? Tell me all about, yeah, free popcorn for all of you cheeky little devils. All of the popcorn for you beautiful beans. We will take a momentary pause on the current serious topic while we say hi to everybody.
Thanks for waiting for us, Valen. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too, Casual. Thank you very much for the 200 little panderings. I appreciate it. Oh, you're doing some Power Wash Simulator 2? How are you enjoying it? Is it cathartic? Is it beautiful and cathartic? Welcome on in, you beautiful beans. People from my stream, go and check out the glorious Hello, It's Colo. Colo is one of my dear friends. One of my dear friends. One of the first communities that I ever joined here on Twitch. And is a wonderful, wonderful human being. Very, very wholesome content over there. I believe you were checking out some other demos as well today. What kind of interesting demos? If you've needed to raid and run Colo, fully understand. fully understand you, beautiful individual. Please go look after yourself. But friends of mine, go check out Hello It's Colo. Plays a lot of story games, plays a lot of like really wholesome story-filled games, the kind of ones that tug on your heartstrings and make you feel real emotions, you know, the ones that make my withered husks of tear ducts even, become actually moistened, you know. And they play some amazing games. They're also a fantastic person, fantastic creator, and very accessibility conscious. So if you are looking for somebody who is very accessibility conscious and knows about like stream information around good content creators to check out that have like accessibility content, well, disabled content creators, excuse me, and want to ask questions about like accessibility bits and pieces, then Hello It's Colo is a great person. They do short form content where they talk about the equipment that they use and stuff like that. I've been watching Colo, where they talk about all the things. It's like, welcome to my office. This is how I play games. These are the sound panels that I use and so that. Very cool. Very big love to Colo. As always, Colo, if you need to disappear off, and your wonderful community as well, if you all need to disappear off and like go grab a delightful beverage or what have you, please go do so. As much as I love your attention, and I really love your attention, I fully understand that your life must always come first. Friends, two things if you are new here. Can't even speak today. Two things if you're new here. One, you're not allowed to apologize. Faux pas, individuals, faux pas. Instead of saying sorry, try saying thank you. Instead of saying sorry, I'm late, say thanks for waiting. Instead of saying sorry, I'm such a burden, say thanks for being there for me. It'll make you a much more positive individual. Two, if you're under the age of 18, I have to ask you to leave because I talk filth and debauchery all of the time. I'm a sex educator, so we talk about sex a lot, and I don't want to be corrupting the ears of the young. So if you are under the age of 18, I have to ask you to leave. All right? Don't you start debauchery. All right? Just giving you all a heads up, we are talking about the incident that happened at TwitchCon over the weekend, on the Thursday, the 18th. We are talking about that situation that happened. We are doing it with as neutrally as possible.
You followed me. Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful being. I really appreciate it. We're doing it as neutrally as possible. We are doing it with respect and perspective. I run events, not as large as TwitchCon, but I do run rather large events, and have some experience in the event world and stuff. So I'm trying to view it from that perspective. I'm viewing it from a whole load of different perspectives, also understanding that Twitch are a corporation and therefore will respond to things like a corporation, not like your friend. Like, this is something that we're very well aware of. If that isn't for you, if that's not something that you want to like talk about, that's cool. That's all right. Fully understand. And if you need to step out at any point, entirely fair. We do not judge anybody for guarding their own spoons and having their own boundaries and stuff like that. All right. If you want to drop us a follow, check us out some other time when we're talking chaotic nonsense. You're welcome to do so. But we are talking about that subject, and if that is too much for people, then that's cool. I, as a sex educator and an advocate and an event organizer and somebody with a horrific justice complex, these are the discussions we like to talk about. Not all the time, just occasionally. And with it being like fresh news, I was like, right, let's talk about it now, and then we don't have to talk about it again in the future. But I will catch up with chat first. Just a bias here because I've done shows for everybody, so yeah, throws me for a... Yeah, no, I get it entirely. No, Semba, that's not what Brentley's saying. That's not what Brentley's saying at all. All these beautiful people coming in. Oh, look at you all. Oh, look at you beautiful human beings. I appreciate you all. Oh, God, all of the potato-y piece. The colony is one of my favorite places to hang out. It really is. It really is. Come in just during a bit of a discussion. Yeah, that's the reason why I like, right, I'm giving everyone the heads up. If this is going to be too much for you, fully understand. But just want to make sure everyone's on the right thing. And before you get into it, can you inform me what happened? Yes. Okay, yeah, I'll happily do that. Again, let's talk content warnings, potential trigger warnings. Had not heard about it, just read on what happened. Holy shit, yes. So there is a content creator called Emiru, very, very large content creator. And when I say large, I mean is averaging 20,000 viewers a stream. So very, very, very big content creator. A situation happened on the 18th of October during TwitchCon San Diego, where a random convention goer, I say random, for all we know, random convention goer, walked past all security, walked in front of one person's meet and greet, went straight over to Emiru, and hugged her and tried to kiss her. Emiru's own security separated them and pushed him off. He then walked away into the convention with nothing else happen in that moment. Twitch have responded, and their response is exactly what you would expect from a corporation. So I don't want people being like, oh my god, they're so awful and what have you. They are responding exactly the same way that any corporation would respond, which is, here is our statement about safety and security. This is what we intend to do about the situation to protect other people going forward. And we are also running this by our legal team to make sure that nothing in here can be used against us in a court of law. That is not unusual. That is not Twitch being dickheads. That is what you would expect from an international multi-million-dollar corporation. Do you know what I mean? That is pretty standard. So I've seen an awful lot of people being like, this is awful, this is absolutely... It's like, no, this is exactly what you would expect. This is what corporations do. We have read Twitch's thing. We read Twitch's response to it. We're halfway through Emiru's statement about it. I haven't watched Emiru's released a 48-minute video about the entire situation, which seems to have been like a VOD that has been cut up and talked about her response to it. I am going to watch that after stream. I didn't have the time to do it recently, but I am going to look into it. We like to talk about these things just for education purposes and perspective purposes and understanding stuff, but because I have myself had situations with parasocial relationships or parasocial dynamics, which is what this is, where somebody, a fan, watches you and goes, there's something between us, we definitely need to pursue that something between us, and I'm like, I've got no idea who you are. And that happens obviously to the bigger streamers, young attractive lady and her community of 20,000 viewers every stream. That's the thing. Now, before we get into it, that's a bit of a recap on the situation. Before we get into it, again, just want to reiterate trigger warnings that are pinned at the top. Thank you very much, Sembar, for pinning those at the top. Also, secondly, we just want to make sure that people are aware we're only talking about this situation. We're not talking about any other situations that have happened in regards to other celebrities that have been in this situation, and we are not opening the door for people to talk about their own personal situations with parasocial dynamics and what have you. Please be aware that we do have a section in the Discord called Vent and Rant Space, where you are able to talk about those things, just spoiler everything, put content warnings so that nobody gets a nasty shock when they're reading your statement. If you're like watching this and I need to get this all off my chest, then please do so. Please do what you need to do. Yeah, exactly. Please do not discuss other events or more serious assaults. They will be deleted. Yes. And please be aware as well that the mods, if the mods do delete anything, they're under very strict instructions from me personally about what I'm comfortable having in the discussion. It's nothing against you at all. It's just them trying to uphold my personal rules. Okay? Okay. With that in mind, I'll catch up with chat a wee bit, and then we will jump on that. Yeah, while we're doing that, Hurricane has redeemed a praise the mods. Could you please throw some mod loves in the channel? Say a massive thank you to those wonderful moderators. Mods keep us very, very safe, like security should. Fucking hell, that was bad, Valen. I should not say that. Mods keep us very safe on the internet. We appreciate them lots and lots and lots. Lots of mod loves. Mods, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. all you do in and out the stream, all the stuff you do for me behind the scenes, and all the stuff you do for this wonderful, wonderful community. I really appreciate it. And you know what? I'm also going to say much love to Colo's mods as well, because I know Colo's mods work really fucking hard to keep Colo and Colo's community safe as well. So thank you to you as well, you beautiful beans, because you are all so glorious. I see what you do, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay. Not just saying we meet and greet. There's security demands from people. Yeah, we're not sure. So we're not sure about situation like, we know that Emiru didn't want to do. This is again a bit of a recap. We know that Emiru didn't want to do any kind of meet and greet, but it was part of the contract that if she was going to have her show on Twitch, then she had to turn up and do a meet and greet at the at TwitchCon San Diego. So there's some contractual obligations going on in there, which again is pretty standard. This isn't an unusual thing. This isn't people being dickheads. This is Twitch being like, cool, you want something from us. Well, it would benefit us if you did a meet and greet because of how many fans you have. Obviously, they didn't expect something like this to happen. Do you know what I mean? We're going to go through Emiru's statement again in a minute, just to do a bit of a recap and bits and pieces. All these beautiful individuals. Appreciate you all being in here. We were washing legs but no feet. No feet? Scandalous. Scandalous. Forgot to lurk earlier, but I'm back from shopping. Got Hubs a bargain coat. Yeah, that sounds glorious. Sounds wonderful. We follow Cola for the hugs and Valen for the plugs. Yes! Yes, Grio! I love that. I love that a lot. Do you see Dan Clancy's interview post innocent? I have not. It wouldn't surprise me. But I also I'm not really interested in Dan Clancy's perspective, because I think Dan Clancy's perspective is going to be, here is me trying to be cool whilst also not saying anything that's going to leave me liable. A lot of the times that I've seen Dan Clancy's interviews have been very much of a muchness. It's like, here are some things. I'm one of you. I'm one of the cool guys. But at the same time, I'm not going to say anything that doesn't make me, that makes me any kind of legal liable. Do you know what I mean? Company did not produce TwitchCon, and I've never heard of this production company. Looks like a local outfit. Wouldn't surprise me. They'll be cheaper. They'll be cheaper. And that's, at the end of the day, what it really comes down to. You weigh up, when it comes to large-scale events like this and staffing large-scale events like this, it comes up to cost versus quality. You know? Yeah, I haven't seen any of that. Is everyone up to date? Am I good to go on? I had just read up on what happened. Holy shit! Yeah. That event, yeah, that thing, yeah, that's the one. It's a company. They have yeah, exactly. They have to do Corpo speak. They have to. Pretty much standard corporation stuff. Yeah. What surprises me is that Twitch in their statement say that the +1s are no longer allowed, and then people responding saying that those are still allowed on the door. That wouldn't surprise me though, Sembar, because what probably happened in that scenario is Twitch's legal team, Twitch's PR team and legal team went, cool, we'll stop all +1s. And then that information, there has always been an issue with communication in TwitchCons. I mean, and you know what? I'm even going to go so far as to say the majority of large-scale events, communication becomes... The bigger the event you get, the more people that are working it, the more difficult communication becomes. That isn't an unusual thing. Is it right? Definitely not. But it's not unusual. So it wouldn't surprise me if Twitch's PR team and legal team and safety team are all like, right, no fucking +1s, put extra staff on there, put extra security on there, we'll do all these things, make sure everyone's safe, do all the things, hammer it down, because we've got to make sure that everyone sees that we're actually reacting to this in the right way so that we don't have a PR nightmare. And then that hasn't filtered down to the relevant people that are actually doing the meet and greet, because they haven't seen all of the shit that's going up online or talking about all that stuff. They haven't seen Twitch's response, because don't forget, friends, that Twitch's response was on the Twitch official Twitter, not the TwitchCon official Twitter. Because from a public relations point of view, you want Twitch's official Twitter to be all of the serious stuff, whereas TwitchCon, you want it to be all hype and shit. Should they have retweeted it? I personally think so, but I understand. I don't agree with it, but I understand why that was the way it worked, you know? Wonder if a police report was issued. According to Twitch, the authorities have been informed and they are working with authorities to deal with the situation. What that entails, who knows? Who knows? All of the mod love. All of the mod love. Appreciate you all, you beautiful beans. Especially good work for today, for sure. Mods keep us all safe on the internet because Valen is a hazard of an individual and the world should be protected. That's a fucking great way of putting it, Shade. I am a hazard of an individual. We do like to talk. I will say to all those new people as well, I don't always talk about serious stuff by any stretch of the imagination. We have a hell of a lot of interesting conversations here that span all manner of subjects. It's just with the dynamics, the background that I come from, and also being a sex educator, an advocate, a consent advocate, like all of these things, and also having a fair amount of experience being in both events and parasocial dynamics, I just feel like this is something that I should talk about, you know? God, those mods are the best. I've only been banned once. Oh my god. Forever in our hearts. Aww. Only once. I'll have to fix that. Amazing. In my 30 years, never had something like this happen, but I can tell you how it will end. But the mods won't like it. I was about to say, don't say it. Then don't say it, you know, Brentley. Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful being. I don't like to call people out just in case they're lurking, but you are very, very welcome. Put his foot in it a bit by suggesting you ban people from your community. Whoa, yeah. That doesn't surprise me, though. It annoys me, but it doesn't surprise me. From what we understand, and again, this is second party information at the very, very least, he was originally given like a 30-day ban, banned from the event, and then a 30-day ban, and it was only due to Emiru's management being like, no, this is more serious than this, stop fucking about, that they were like, right, it's a permanent, indefinite ban from the platform and all events going forward, you know? It's also easy to talk your way in if you go on at people enough. It's not ideal, but it happens. Yeah, it's true. That is true. If you walk... what happened in that situation? So there is a video. The video went viral where we see what happened. What happened there was you see a man walking very confidently towards Emiru. Emiru apparently herself has even said, I thought it was a Twitch staff member coming over to give me a message. When I first saw the video, I was like, that's a Twitch staff member coming over to give her a message. Because they just walk with such purpose, you know? Should they have been stopped and checked for ID? 110%. But they weren't. So I can understand why initially everyone was like, oh, it's Twitch staff. Oh God, no. Something awful happening, you know? Big Roast, have your CEO give his turd of a take to top it off. Hard to pretend he does not speak for the company he runs with a sensitive situation like this. How do I say this? Dan Clancy is an interesting CEO. In the regards that he has gone out of his way to try and understand the creator experience. Try and understand what it is to be a streamer on Twitch. And certainly wants to appear as like the cool CEO to a lot of streamers. I have met him very briefly. He was easy to speak to. Do I think that he says some things that he shouldn't? Yes. No worries, Kaja, you beautiful being. Thanks so much for stopping by. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Do I think he says some things that he shouldn't? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes out of, I know, like a sort of naivety. Sometimes because he wants to appear cool. Sometimes because I think there's a certain level of he believes that honesty is the best policy when it really isn't. Especially not for a corporation like that. He is not your stereotypical corporate CEO by any stretch of the imagination. Senny's really wielding that sword of the just. Don't even have time to react. He's already done it before I can read anything. What a legend. He's on it. On it. I basically decided to just remind while he handles the sword. And I appreciate you, mods. Very, very much appreciate it. All of you. I like a paddling. Honestly, a classic example of just walk with purpose and act official, getting people through doors. Yes. That's exactly what it is, Cave Enclave. That's exactly what it is. And it's horrifying to see. Absolutely admire the way you put that. Got to be tactical every so often, right? Team works, make it work. Absolutely. Wear a high vis, carry a parcel, looks like you know where you're going. They did an experiment. There was a couple of content creators, fucking hell, a couple of years ago, who did an experiment with a ladder. There was a theory that if you walk anywhere with a ladder, you can get in anywhere. No one will bat an eyelid, no one will question it, no one will ID you. And they went into a cinema, they went into a museum, they went into like 4 or 5 different places with 2 of them, one at the front of the ladder and one at the back, and they just walked. And nobody stopped them. Everyone just opened like barriers, just moving barriers around, making sure they could go wherever they needed to do. Cut by any kind of queues, didn't really care. Nobody asked them a question. Just because they had a pair of ladders with them. Because why would you carry ladders around with you, right? Ladder at the Louvre. It was wild. It was fucking wild. Is that what it's called? Is that what the video's called? Rebel Nate, how you doing? I found it really scary that there wasn't enough security for someone as big as her. But so this is where and this is where you've got to understand the difference between my personal opinion and the neutrality that I'm trying to approach this with. Also, how you doing, Rebel Nate? Can I get a shout for Rebel Nate, please? Glorious individual, deserves all the love and attention. My personal opinion is it's fucking horrific. I am shocked that there was so few security there. Emiru said there was, like, in the video, go check this beautiful individual out. Very, very, very good friend of mine. There's a lot of cooking streams and obviously Claire Obscura and painting streams and bits and pieces. Wonderful, wonderful human being. Appreciate them very, very much. There, from what Emiru said, there were 3 or 4 security, Twitch security there, as well as her own security. I don't know what was contractually agreed upon. None of us will. Do you know what I mean? Whether there was anything contractually agreed upon at all. I also understand from an external point of view that there is a conflict of interest, or not a conflict of interest, but there can be conflict if there are 2 security members from 2 different companies trying to do the same job. Like, if there was Twitch security there and Emiru's own security there, and they were both trying to get this guy detained, as it were, where does one person's thing stop versus the other person? Do you know? Like, I can see where a conflict could occur in that situation. They used a ladder vehicle to rob the Louvre. Oh, really? Oh, shit. Never even heard of that. Fair enough. Jesus. So I can understand where there could be issues. Is that a reason for it? No, not by any stretch of imagination. Every government building have to hire penetration testers, real job title, to test security for things like this, because honestly, the confidence can get you anywhere. A lot of the time, you seem official enough. Oh, absolutely. Fact. Emiru had a personal bodyguard at the previous TwitchCon who was banned. Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah. Banned from attending due to grabbing the arm of a different attacker while awaiting for the police. So yeah, it was a previous stalker of Emiru's, and her usual bodyguard, her usual security guard, has been banned from TwitchCon. So because of the fact that he held the arm of another stalker of hers until Twitch security or the police or anything could, while waiting for the police, there you go, could have been prevented if she were allowed personal protection, which she herself admitted costs her tens of thousands. So very shook up in a video, so I feel so bad for her. She did say she's all right, and we're going to go through her statement again in a minute. I'll wait for these ads to run because they're going to run in a second anyway. But yeah, a few days ago, a break-in happened at the Louvre and basically put a ladder next to the building, removed a window and got in with a hand chainsaw to open up casings. Oh shit, never even heard of that. I'm not up to date with a lot of things, but never even heard of that. Well shit. How's it going, Counterpoint Music? How you doing? Person responded to the situation and pulled them apart is different hired bodyguard due to... Yes, so the person that actually pulled them apart was her own security. That wasn't Twitch security. That was her own security guard. And the woman that goes over to make sure she's all right, that's her own manager. 2 security workers from different companies fighting over kicking someone out of the venue. Can I cut in? Yeah, basically, yeah. Exactly. It's the whole thing of where does one person's responsibility / liability gray areas exactly. So it's a difficult one. Like, what would I have done in that situation? Like, it feels to me, because the guy obviously comes in from one side. It feels to me that if you had security there, you would have 2 to 3 security. Or, well, at least, you know what? There's 4 people there. You could have done it with the security that was there. 2 security at this entrance, 2 security at that entrance. The queues all in there, so that everybody that goes through either of these entrances needs to be staff, like the side entrances. Needs to be staff. They need to ID themselves. They need to show that they are staff and they've got their ID staff passes, as with all things. Burning myself with my little candle here. And then anybody that tries to push past any of the queues or anything immediately get removed by, say, 5 security members on that situation. And you probably would have had it covered. One person just doing the sort of scouting rounds, as it were, the rounds to each exit, you'd have been covered. I'm not a security professional either. That just seems like logical from my... And then if anyone wants to bring their own security, they have their own security back there. That seems like the logical thing to do from my event manager brain, you know? Responsibility liability gray areas weren't clear ahead of time. Yeah, the problem is that also we don't know about what the contract says. Because one of the Alec Wallace earlier mentioned about the fact that if you don't have security mentioned in the contract itself, then there's a good chance that they would have been like, well, no, that's we didn't put it in the contract because we assumed that they'd have their own security. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild. What that man did would be... it was definitely assault. It's not even would be considered. It was assault. A proportional response would be to detain him as with as much force as necessary. However, previous decision by Twitch had dissuaded security to lay hands on people, hence the hesitant and underwhelming reaction. Twitch set a bad precedent of apathy over action. I agree with that. Because I can absolutely guarantee if the current security guard knew about the previous situation, if the current guy had known about the previous situation, when that guy walked forward, that will have provided hesitation. He would have been like, oh, do I need to, what's going on here? That would have made him stop, because he wouldn't want to get involved and also be banned from the premises, you know? Did Twitch not have a creative manager to deal with the top creators that may attend TwitchCon? someone who deals with their needs via management and heard about that incident and would go speak to Emiru personally. No idea is the answer to that question. At one stage, I'm waiting for these ads to kick through. At one stage, the Twitch used to assign partner managers to every single partner that got partnered on Twitch. That was a dream of the past by the time I became a partner. Never happened when I was a partner at all. I would like to think there would be a creator manager that would deal with all of the people doing the meet and greets. Oh, is the ads on? All right, okay. We'll take a moment. We'll take a moment. But yeah, I will pull up the thingy as well, actually. That's Twitch's response. There's Emiru's thing. No free PA? No, not at all. Distant memory. Distant memory in the past. I'm going to wait for the adverts to finish and then we'll get on. But I am going to take a moment, though, to say thank you to everybody for being patient and being understanding, and also being very patient with the moderators for if they delete your comments and stuff like that. I really appreciate all of you for the way that we can conduct these conversations, these very serious conversations, whilst also like maintaining perspective and respect about them. Do you know what I mean? Best manager thing was gone by the time I got partnered too, but we do get priority when contacting the Twitch help support. I've never contacted Twitch help support, so I don't know whether that's a thing or not. No, to be fair, no, I did for one situation about 3 years ago, 2 years ago maybe, and that was like resolved within a day or two. So yeah, that's fair. Maybe that was the case. That was the only time that I'd ever contacted Twitch help support. So
you followed
that
me.
could have been the scenario, you know.
Stalker.
Thank you so much for the follow, you beautiful bean. I don't like to call people out just in case they are lurking, but I do appreciate you. It's an interesting one. And I feel my perspective at the moment is that it is actually very similar to that situation that happened at TwitchCon year before, where the creator broke her back after jumping into a sponge pit that was only a foot deep as opposed to the 3 or 4 foot that you need, which was Twitch haven't thought this far through. Wait, what? So last year, or maybe even the year before, I can't remember which year it was, Alexander Griffin, but there was, remember hearing about that? Yeah, that was horrible. Yeah, it was awful. So there was, I'll fucking pop back over here for a second. There was a situation where there was like a gladiator style assault coursey thing. And the whole thing was like fenced out with foam blocks, and there was like all of these foam squares are like in this pit, as it were. Then there was 2 pedestals, and if I remember correctly, it was like the Gladiators, the TV series, where they would hit each other with big foam paddles and try and knock each other off. Yeah, problem was it was just foam blocks with concrete underneath. Yeah. So what happened was one creator won a round. She knocked her friend off, went, yeah, that's absolutely amazing, then jumped into the foam pit, thinking that it was going to be within health and safety regulations and be 3 or 4 feet deep, so that when she hits the sponge, she sinks into it and then has to wade her way out. However, it wasn't. It was just a whole load of foam blocks on a concrete floor. and she, if I remember correctly, she broke her spine. And Twitch's reaction to that feels very, very similar to Twitch's reaction 2022, you believe? Okay, thank you very much. So a couple of years ago then. Twitch's reaction to that was very, very similar to what Twitch's reaction to this seems to have been, which is, we're not going to say anything. Oh shit, it's viral. We need to release an official statement and very quickly move on. I would be amazed. I would be genuinely amazed if Twitch addressed this situation ever again. That's a pattern and a half, yeah. But they are a corporation. That is what you would expect from all corporations. Like, I want to be very, very clear. It's shitty, but it's not unusual. I have seen it happen with many, 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 many corporations before. I have worked for corporations before that have done exactly this. It's crazy that just about every TwitchCon in recent years have had some kind of controversy. Yeah. The difference, I think, is whether the controversy is because of streamers bringing on drama, or whether the controversy is due to event negligence from TwitchCon themselves. In the scenario of the breaking of the spine and the scenario of this assault, they were very much Twitch's negligence. There is no way that foam pit adhered to any description of health and safety regulations at all. That was just negligence. There is also no way that individual should have been able to approach Emiru in the way that they did. Again, negligence. End of story. Like, even trying to be as neutral as possible, those are still the facts. You know, right? Talk about Emiru's thing. We'll go back to the beginning so that everyone's back in the thingy, okay? So Emiru says, hello everyone, I am okay, and thank you for all the kind messages. Sorry I cannot respond to all of them. Of course, she's averaging 20,000 viewers every stream. She's not going to be able to respond to every single individual message. Yesterday, the man who assaulted me was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon, and even in front of another creator's meet and greet, to grab me and my face and try and kiss me. I have watched this video literally today. I didn't show it on stream because I didn't want to trigger anybody, but I have watched it, and that is exactly what happens. Fortunately, he wasn't able to, but a lot of people have pointed out that it could have been a lot worse. We've talked about this as well. That many celebrities have died because of situations like this. Obviously shaken up by what happened, and it's not the first time that I've dealt with something like this. But to tell you honestly, I am a lot more hurt and upset by how Twitch handled it during and after the effect. We are not talking about Twitch's official statement response. She is referring here to the way that the TwitchCon event staff have handled it, in reference to how she, like, from what I have heard, nobody came over to check on her. Nobody came to see if she was all right. No security staff went and followed the guy to make sure he was apprehended. Nothing like that. Like I said, I don't understand how he was allowed to make it to me in the first place. Completely agree with that statement. The security in the clip who reacts is my own security. It's true that my favorite and usual security guard was banned for holding a stalker's arm to bring him to police at a past TwitchCon. However, there were at least 3 or 4 other TwitchCon security staff in the area who did not react and let the guy walk away. As you can see in the clip, since they don't even appear in the frame. Again, have seen this. They do walk, the perpetrator, as it were, does walk by Twitch staff, but I don't think they are security. I think they were just a staff member. And if you've ever worked events, you should know that you are not meant to get involved with security issues unless you are Twitch security, because security staff, I don't know whether it's the same in America, but in the UK, like, if you are, I think it's SIA licensed, it's like you have been trained to be a doorman, to be a bouncer, to be security, and you have been trained in a way to be able to deal with the situation, and are licensed legally to deal with the situation. Whereas if a random person got involved, if a random person jumped on in and like fucking hit the guy or whatever to get him off Emiru, then that person could be sued for assault in themselves. They could be taken to court for assault in themselves because they assaulted the perpetrator. It's ridiculous, in my personal opinion, but that is the way that the law works, you know? It's crazy just by everyone. Yeah, it's sad it's become yearly. I'm not surprised it's yearly, that there's some good description of controversy or drama, because of the way that the streaming world is. What I am surprised at is a lot of it comes down to negligence on TwitchCon's behalf. Watching for a few, and my opinion on this is a content creator who hires their own personal security shouldn't be banned from an event because they are paid to provide said person's security. If her usual personal security has been able to do their job by attending the event, I don't think this would have happened, or the person who assaulted her would have been apprehended and sent to jail, which should have happened. I agree with that. Completely and utterly, Shorty. I agree with that. I think that if she had her own security, just popping over here while I refresh my little musics. If she'd have had her own security and was able to use her own security, this probably wouldn't have happened. The security that she had previously used, this probably wouldn't have happened. You gotta be trained in the UK, put staff at risk to do anything legally, and they could be assaulted themselves. Yeah. I know because when I was a fucking 21-year-old, 22-year-old, I worked in a bar and I got involved in a fight because some fucking random guy pulled my girlfriend at the time's hair when she was out collecting glasses, and the security got involved. It all kicked off. I got involved to help security, and I got reprimanded by the bosses being like, you are never allowed to do that again because you could be taken to court for assault. And I was like, but I was helping. And they were like, we know that, but that doesn't, the law doesn't say that. If that guy decides to press charges, he can't press charges on the door staff. He can press charges on you. I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. You know what I mean? SIA, do wristbands, so stand on the door. I can't do anything if it kicks off other than call for backup. Slash the police. If I get involved and someone gets injured, I'd be likely charged with assault by the police. Can't even ask someone to leave their drink inside. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Mum runs a boba, happens a lot. I can imagine. Right. In the frame, the woman who's walking me away is my own personal manager, and behind the booth, the only two people who were checking on me and comforting me were her and my friend. None of the TwitchCon staff came to ask what happened or if I was okay, which is disgusting. That's whoever was in charge of the area, of the meet and greet area, whether they were in charge of other areas as well, regardless. As soon as they fucking heard about this, they should have immediately gone over and been like, hey, are you okay? I've just heard. Like, is there anything we can do to help? What do we need to do? That should have been the first and foremost, in my personal opinion. My friend who was present told me that Twitch security were also behind the booth afterwards, joking about how they didn't even see what happened and immediately laughing and moving on to talking about something else. They would be fired. If that's true, they would be instantly fired in any event that I have ever known anybody work at. Like, that's wild. That is wild. So if no one was checking if I was okay or if I needed anything and they let the guy run away initially, I have no idea what anyone hired to keep the event safe was doing. Interesting lol, but I get it. In Twitch's statement, they said that the guy was immediately caught and detained. I'm sorry, but this is a blatant lie. He was allowed to walk away from my meet and greet, and I didn't hear that he was caught until hours after he attacked me. And it felt like this was only happened because of my manager pressing for it, not because TwitchCon staff present thought it was a big deal. That's wild. That is wild. I have a lot more that I want to say, but I will say it on stream later today, which I have already pulled up so that I can watch the stream, because I would like to see it. Instead of writing a book on here. Thank you guys again. Sorry you all had to see that. That statement upsets me. We all know how I feel about apologies, because none of that was her fault. None of that was her fault. This is definitely my last TwitchCon. It saddened me to say as 10 years off and on attending a TwitchCon. I think other creators should seriously consider not attending in the future. I did not feel cared for or protected. Even bringing my own security and staff, I can't imagine how creators without these options would feel. Stay safe, y'all. Everything is going to be okay. Entirely, that is an entirely fucking fair statement. There we go. Editor uploaded my VOD where I talked about the stuff that I didn't include in this post, if anyone wants to hear the full story, which is the thing that I've pulled up already. That is wild. That's been the reaction of TwitchCon from her perspective. We need to understand that is from her individual perspective. Whether other things were going on behind the scenes that she wasn't made aware of, which I'm surprised they wouldn't have made her aware of it. But there might have been things going on behind the scenes that she wasn't made aware of. Like that it could well have been the security saw that happening and immediately radioed to the next point, because they weren't allowed to leave their thing to secure, even though it wasn't secure, but for securing the meet and greet area, they could have radioed him being like, right, this guy's just in this, go get him as quickly as possible. However, them laughing about it afterwards doesn't give me the greatest amount of confidence. It's very hard to stand by and watch if he kicks off. Oh yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be able to do it. It's the reason why I don't work in bars anymore. What was doing that? Depends on the situation. You are legally allowed to get involved if you are acting to preserve life or property, as long as the involvement is the lowest level of violence, harm as is feasible. These people telling you otherwise are just hoping to avoid a liability hassle. Interesting. I mean, this was fucking years ago, Sephiroth. Years and years and years and years ago. I would like to point out to chat that laws are different in differing countries and states around the globe. Yes, thank you very much. That is a very, very good point. What is legal for you might not be legal for someone else. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, good point of perspective there, Sembar, because that is very, very true. The lack of or inactivity of security / staff should be absolutely looked into, especially for huge popular streamers like that. To be honest here, Runable, I would expect it, theoretically, let's say that I was running TwitchCon. Yeah, first of all, something like that is less likely to happen if I was running it, because I think about that shit first. I think about the comfort. And like, for me, I'm like, what are the things that are bringing people to TwitchCon? Cool. How do we make them have the greatest experience they can possibly have and feel secure and safe so that they can talk about how amazing it is? Like, when I do cabarets, I am very, very proud to say that one of the greatest things that people talk about is how much I look after them. When not just the guests, but like the performers. Performers come down and I do my absolute best to look after them. Make sure they're comfortable. Make sure they're in a hotel. Make sure that they have the least stress possible. Make sure they've got food and snacks behind the scenes. Make sure they feel secure. Make sure that they've got people on hand if there's any issues, that they can instantly speak to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is a pride of place. And one of the reasons why I love doing that is, first of all, because it makes them feel amazing. But second of all, because when people turn around and ask, hey, have you worked for Alan before? Have you worked for the Cult of Vane before? Have you done like Ken or done the Devil's Parlor before? Those performers then go, yeah, this was a great experience. He really looks after you. He gives you all the information you can possibly need. Do you know what I mean? Like, all of that information helps. But if this situation had happened and I was in charge of TwitchCon, regardless of the rumors, and I'm going to say rumors because there's no certifiable evidence, that regardless of this statement saying that security were laughing about it, I would immediately have the company who did security in the office, being like, what the fuck happened? Explain the situation. And investigate the security staff that were working that area. Immediately. Immediately. Don't fuck about, just do it. Because why didn't they react? Why was this guy allowed to be able to do these things? Why are they supposedly laughing? Even if there's just a rumor, why were they supposedly laughing about it afterwards? There's a lot of questions here that need answered. And obviously that investigation is going to take a little while, but that's where my and if the people who run this TwitchCon, and I don't know who they are, but if those people are able to are anything like me, they would absolutely have been like, right, we need to get this investigation immediately. Do you know what I mean? No worries, Grio, you beautiful bean. Covering the emotive subjects with compassion and reason. Always a great place to have the hard chats. Thank you so much, Grio. That means the genuine fucking world to me. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Coming in blind, but already feels heavy what have happened. Ectina, how you doing? We were just talking about the situation that happened with Emiru on TwitchCon this weekend. Pretty heavy subject. There is a pinned post at the top of chat that just talks about like trigger warnings and bits and pieces and what have you. We're kind of coming to the end of the conversation now anyway, but thank you very much, Sambar. But yeah, we're just talking about that situation. Basically, the TLDR is a very big streamer called Emiru was assaulted on at her meet and greet, and Twitch's response has been exactly what you would expect from a corporation, but extremely lackluster in my personal opinion. No worries, Ellie, you take it easy, you beautiful being. Sleep well, you glorious individual. The lack of or inactivity security staff should absolutely be looked into, especially for huge popular streamers like that. I mean, for anybody that's doing the meet and greet, and like friends of mine are doing the meet and greet. Like there are literally friends of mine. The head of my stream team, Selena, was asked to do a meet and greet. So this is very much on my mind. I'm like, oh shit. I do not believe that Selena has her own managerial team or security accompanying her. Makes me sick to my stomach and really scary to think that no one was there to help her. If her own staff and security didn't step in to make sure that she was okay. Exactly, none of this is her fault, but it's sad that she apologized for it. My heart goes out to her. My heart goes out to her 100%. The apology thing will, I would imagine, and this is me psychoanalyzing with no fucking qualifications, part of it will be habit. The fact that we always apologize for shit that we have no control over. And part of it will feel guilt for exposing our community to something like that, even though it's not at all her fault. Not at all her fault at all. She was very much the victim in this situation. Was this in America? Yes, it was in San Diego. Yeah. It sticks in your mind if you are looked after well. On the contrary, if you weren't. Yes. The reason why I do it, Runable, is because I have been in the situations where your changing room is a broom closet full of fucking smelly chemicals and an old rank mop. I've been in the situations where I've turned up and nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Nobody's given me any information. I'm just here. I've been given a location and a date, and I'm like, okay, I'm here. Why am I here? What the fuck is going on? What's happening? Do you know what I mean? Your nights feel so safe and welcoming. Friday night was the first night I've had with my partner in about 12 years, where he left his dorm and headed home. Oh wow, that means the fucking world to me, Zooty. Because I know what it's like going out to events and not being able to turn off the work brain. Do you know what I mean? Every other night out we've ever had, he's constantly reminded him that he's not... I've constantly had to remind him that he's not at work. Constantly watching the crowds and not able to enjoy himself. Yeah, that means the world to me. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate that. Saw a random clip of her and Asmongold earlier on YouTube Short, but skipped it. Wonder if it was related to or an old clip. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. How's it going, Safi? How you doing, you beautiful individual? was good to see you on Friday, you beautiful bean. Good to see you. Worked retail and sometimes went out on my own, started helping customers randomly when I see them confused. Yeah. I mean, that was... So the situation with this was very much... yeah, I mean, it's going to be all over the internet for a very long time. Well, for at least a month, I would imagine. Depending on how Emiru and Twitch, respectively, choose to deal with the situation. How's it going? Oh, Rach saying hi to Steffi. Love this spooky lighting. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm partway through decorating for the All Hallows Eve, as it is the season. Tis the season. I need to put up a shitload of cobwebs and stuff, but I ran out of time before stream. Too much shit to do. Too much shit to do as always, right? As always. But yeah, it's good. So all in all, I know how he feels. I'm always on the watch. Also, just a habit to protect my spouse. Yeah, I completely get it. I can't turn off the work brain. I can't turn off the work brain. And also, on a night out, me and Rach went on a night out in Harrogate a few weeks back, a couple of months back now, I'd imagine. And we were known as the Meerkats. It was just that. Dancy, 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 dancy. Just keeping an eye out. Keeping an eye out on shit. Dancy, dancy, dancy. You want some milk? Oh my god, Safi. Oh my god. It was good to see you. What do you think of my events? Can't turn on the vet brain when I spend time with animals, sadly. I can imagine. I can imagine. What an offer. There was a milkman at my last show, friends. It was next level. Next level. The Meerkats, you know it. No worries, Runable, you beautiful being. Thanks so much for talking about all of you beautiful people. All you people that are still here from the raids we've had earlier. I really, really appreciate you. Appreciate you. All in all, I think that it's a horrible situation to have happened, obviously a horrible situation to have happened, and there was under no circumstances was any of it Emiru's fault. I don't know what kind of person she is. I don't know anything about her. I don't know what kind of streamer she is. I don't know like anything at all. What I do know is that none of that situation was her fault at all. I am shocked but not surprised at Twitch's response. I am shocked but not surprised at the state of like the negligence that led up to the situation being able to have happened. I am shocked, genuinely shocked, and surprised that nobody from TwitchCon decided to go and check on her and make sure she was all right. That's shocking to me. That is really shocking to me. And depending on how... I would imagine, I mean, this is where I start to speculate on the future. I would imagine that TwitchCon will not address the situation again. Yeah, I would imagine that Twitch will not address the situation again. I would also imagine that Emiru's legal team might seek some kind of compensation from it for her actively being put at risk due to corporate negligence or event negligence. But I would imagine that'll probably get settled quite quietly. I wish I'd screenshot the comment made about as a local Facebook page. I know, right? I know. Just the milk or the bottle too, right? I have a cow spaff on my ankle. My partner on Friday night. It could have been easily avoided, Milky Pog. It could have been easily avoided. That situation should never have happened. That is wild. Absolutely. Now, having looked at the entire situation, obviously I'm going to go away and watch Emiru's VOD to see her full perspective but it's yeah, it's a whole thing. Balsina, I saw nice cross-stitch Halloween online. I'm slightly tempted as Cthulhu over the house with words. May Cthulhu devour this house. Like, yeah. Do it, Actino. Do it. It was horrible to hear that the local security didn't act immediately and laughed about the situation. Yeah, I am shocked at the laughing, and they need to be invested. I mean, I would immediately, if it was my security team, I'd be like, who was on that? Who was on that security detail at that time? Cool, you're immediately suspended pending investigation. Fuck off home. You're not getting paid. Drag in four or five other people. Right, this is the situation. Be on your fucking top behavior, because we cannot afford this shit. Because that's the kind of behavior that puts a security firm out of business. Because all it takes, every word of mouth spreads everything. All it takes is TwitchCon to publicly turn around and be like, do not use these people. They allowed this shit to happen, and no one will use that security firm again. They won't. That ain't gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? Night Jam Jai, you beautiful bean. Did Twitch ever address the phone pit incident from that was 2022, Mumfies. Also, I love your name. How you doing? That was 2022. I thought it was last year too, but apparently it was 2022. Seems like the way to just publicly apologize and then pretend it never happened to the public. They don't apologize. They will never apologize, Mumfies. And that's not down to Twitch themselves. That is down to corporations. Corporations as an entire entity. Every single corporation out there, especially international ones, especially ones that work for like Amazon and shit like that. They will never apologize, because apologies accept blame legally. The only place that they don't do that is Canada. Canadian law dictates that an apology is not an acceptance of guilt, because Canadian people apologize so much. But every other country, an apology is an acceptance of guilt, or can be perceived as an acceptance of guilt until proven otherwise in a court of law. So you will never get corporations actively apologizing for things unless it is certifiably proven in a court of law that, and they have come out on the bad side of that they make a public apology or something like that. That's the only time you'll ever really see it. But they have made an official statement about health and safety. They have made an official statement about security, and I would imagine that that'll be the last we hear about it. Again, not saying that not because of any perspective of Twitch or any slagging off of Twitch, just because of that's the way that corporations work. How's it going, Authentic Cat? Welcome on in. Please be aware, as you've just joined us, that we are talking about quite a heavy topic. We are talking about an assault that happened at TwitchCon over the weekend. If you're not in the right brain space for that, then and that goes for everybody. If you're not in the right brain space for that, please take the time you need. We'd fire them on spawn, get someone in to replace them. Mm-hmm. Abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Not 2022 help. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it, right? Yay for being Canadian. Speech patterns. Yeah. Sorry is a show of empathy. I feel bad for this thing that happened. Legally, not necessarily. Which is the reason why in the statement that we got from TwitchCon, there wasn't an apology in it at all. This is our official statement. We take security and safety very, very seriously. This situation happened. So this is what we're doing about it. Or this is what we're saying we're doing about it. That's why they call it statements instead of apologies. Very accurate. This is our official statement. Yeah. Just putting something in the Discord not safe for work channel. I'm scared. Just see it. Scrolling through it instead. That's fair. As long as you spoiler it, if it's something unnerving, right? Solid type. Thank you. No, you are very, very welcome. Very, very welcome. According to Canadian law is my reference. Oh right. Okay. I'm sorry. According to Canadian law. I see. The way the Twitch staff and Twitch corporate have handled this reeks of rampant misogyny present, especially when dwelling with women creators / talent, or when dealing with women creators / talent. Absolutely boils my piss. I can't speculate on that because I don't know any of the staff. that have dealt with the situation. I can understand the perspective of a misogynistic understanding. Absolutely, especially when it comes to the security. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, 110%. In regards to Twitch themselves, it feels more like just pure negligence than anything else. But in regards to the security, I completely agree with you. I don't want to turn around and say that it's Twitch are particularly misogynistic, because I don't know who was involved. Because I know there's an awful lot of people of all genders that work for Twitch, and I don't think that misogyny is rife with. I think misogyny is rife within the creator space, but not necessarily the Twitch space. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. I am happy to be proven wrong in that, though. You know, but in regards to the security and their supposed reaction to it, in regards to laughing about it and what have you, 110%, definitely misogyny. Definitely. There's no middle ground there, you know. Well, that was a fun topic of conversation. Again, friends, I do want to take a moment to say a massive thank you to all of you for dealing with this with respect and understanding and patience. Because it's a pretty heavy topic. This is where we end the topic. Yeah, this is where I'm ending the topic. This is where I'm drawing that line. In fact, the line, please. Maybe we do a line? Yeah, absolutely. We'll do a line. And nobody, after that line, nobody talk about the topic. Otherwise, it'll be deleted by the mods. But thank you very much, Simba. The mods did reach out to me and they were like, hey, this has happened. And I was like, yes, this has absolutely happened. And they were like, this might get brought up in your chat. How do you want to deal with it? And I was like, cool. Let's get ahead of this one. Let's get ahead of this one, right? But thank you very much, friends, for being patient, understanding, respectful. And even if we agreed to disagree, then I just appreciate you being glorious and what have you. Euro Papa. Wait till Saturday. Don't be saying that, Saturday. Naughty.
Yeah, you subscribed.
For some reason, this is still a thing. Have Twitch been doing API things? God damn it.
Yeah, you subscribed.
Euro Papa, thank you so much, you beautiful individual, for those 5 gifted subs.
Yeah, you subscribed.
That's very kind of you, glorious individual. I will inscribe their names upon the mirror of vein tomorrow morning when I am catching up with all of my subscriptions. Tomorrow, I will inscribe their names upon the mirror of vein. By having their names upon the mirror of vein, it means to get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devils. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you go roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good. Sexy. Oh, yes, meow, you know? God damn it, Europapa. That's far too kind of you, you beautiful being. Oh, thank you very much for thanking Europapa for the gifted subs there. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. That's far too kind. Also, friends, Milky Pork has also redeemed a praise the mods. Could we please throw some love in the love in the channel using any kind of love hearts or any kind of mod loves from any channel? I am not prejudiced against emotes, so I will happily accept them all. To say a massive thank you to those wonderful moderators. Not only for being here and the stream and bits and pieces, but also I will throw some love in a particular mod later. Oh, Finley. Milky Pork, thank you so much for that. Also, friends, that is where I'm going to end it. So these mod loves are perfectly timed. Perfectly fucking timed. Because my brain needs a bit of a rest as well. But again, thank you so much for being patient and understanding and respectful. It means the world that we are able to have this conversation and conversations like this, where we do get serious, where we do talk about the more serious topics, and also are able to be respectful and understanding and not spiraling and not dramatic and not fucking sensationalizing anything. Something in my eyeball. Anyway, let me have a quick look at who we can go throw some love at. Let's raid somebody that's doing something a bit more lighter mooded, something a bit more happy-go-lucky, so that we can have a nice, relaxing time of things, because we've done some serious stuff, and if we can raid somebody who's doing something a bit more chill, a bit more fun, a bit more outrageous and preposterous, that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful.
Followed me. Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you so much for the follow, you beautiful being. I really, really appreciate it. That means the fucking world. Thank you so much. Especially as we have been talking about something pretty wild today. Or pretty serious today. And that always means the world that people still think it's a worthwhile thing. A lot of people playing lots of spooky things, which is great normally, but I want to watch something that's a bit more lighthearted. Poor guy gets stuck at the desk every time he sees me. And didn't want to derail the useful and serious convo earlier, but I just want to say I absolutely love your earrings. Thank you very much. I got them from a little market at a burlesque event I went to like a month ago. But they're very dangly. They make me very happy. And thank you so much. I appreciate that. We could go raid this delightful individual. We haven't raided this person in a very, very long time. Ooh, okay. Cool. Let's do that. Oh, how long have they been streaming? Yeah, they're closing. They're just about to end. Confound it! Confound it all! Oh, that's cool. Joel, let's go raid this delightful individual. They're doing something lighthearted. And I met this person at a TwitchCon in 2022 or 2022. So let's do that. Friends, if you can stick around for the raid, even if it's on like 5-10 minutes, I would really, really appreciate it. Just to go throw some love at another wonderful individual. We're going to go check them out. They're doing something nice and lighthearted, nice and easygoing. And I would really appreciate if you could stick around so we can go throw them some love. Let me make sure I spell their name right. Cool. Friends, if you are a subscriber, please copy and paste the first raid message. If you're not a subscriber, please copy and paste the second raid message. That's the first bot of vein raid message for subscribers. The second bot of vein raid message for non-subscribers. Friends, we're gonna go raid Pumpkin Amy. Pumpkin Amy, who is doing some Pokemon shenanigans today. Give him a shout out as well. If you're not in the raid up there, please click on the link that I have just thrown out there so we can go throw Pumpkin Amy some love. I met Pumpkin Amy at TwitchCon Amsterdam many moons ago, and they were chaotic and glorious, and I appreciated them very, very dearly. And it would be really nice to go throw them some love. You may get over there and be like, my God, this person's absolutely bloody amazing. So I'd appreciate you sticking around for the raid, even if it's only a few minutes, you know? Friends, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the raids, the subs, the gift subs, all the cheeky little bitties. Thanks so much for the follows. Thanks so much for the donations. To all you beautiful lurkers, thank you so much for hanging out and listening to my dulcet tones. To all you beautiful people in the chat, thank you so much for being so respectful once again for such a serious topic. And for all you people watching the VOD, I really, really appreciate you for hanging out and watching along with us, especially when we're talking about quite a serious topic like this. You beautiful beings, I appreciate you. I will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. BST, that's 1 p.m. British time, where we'll be playing some more Vampire Therapist. More deep conversations around the undead creatures, where we play a really annoying cowboy interacting with some really beautiful individuals. So yeah, if you'd like to hang around with that, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. We appreciate that. However, friends, until then, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Because if I wouldn't do it, it'll fucking kill you. I'll see you all later. Bye.